What's the best way to follow any chess event, from the World Chess Championship to the candidates, the Speed Chess Championship, Title Tuesday, and so much more? Chess.com/events has all of the top chess tournaments played both over the board and online. Analyze and review games from the world's greatest players with live commentary, cloud analysis, opening explorer, and table bases. Find all the key event information, including schedules, prizes, results, news reports, player bios, tie breaks, and more. Even compete by voting for your predicted results. Explore chess.com/events today on web or with our iOS and Android apps and experience chess like never before.
Hello, 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 chat. We are back with yet another event, and this is a unique one actually, because this is not a tournament which we have streamed before, but it has become very, very important because of Indian players इतना आगे जाते जा रहे हैं कि इसका मतलब हर जगह जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट दुनिया में हो वहां पे 2-3 इंडियन तो खेल ही रहे होते हैं. एंड दिस इज द उज्बेकिस्तान चेस कप मास्टर्स. इसमें 3 कैटेगरी, अब हम मास्टर्स फोकस करेंगे बिकॉज वहीं पे हमारे 3 इंडियन प्लेयर्स खेल रहे हैं. एंड 2 ऑफ देम यू कैन सी ऑन योर स्क्रीन राइट नाउ. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव Praggnanandhaa with the black pieces, who's world number 6 right now with a rating of 2774.2, and उनके सामने बैठे हैं Arjun, who's been the surprise package of 2025 so far, and he looks well dressed, ready to go as well. And not to forget पिछला इवेंट जिन्होंने यहाँ पे खेला था वहां पे Arvind came first and Pragg came second, so this is going to be an intense rivalry. And of course not to forget board number 2 पे हमारे अर्जुन भी खेल रहे हैं, and he is also there in this event. So इंडिया के टॉप 4 जो प्लेयर्स हैं गुकेश के अलावा तीन प्लेयर यहां पे खेल रहे हैं एंड उनके सामने जो ओपोनेंट्स है इट इज Nodirbek, भाई Nodirbek जो उनका स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट ऑपोजिशन है. इट इज ऑफ कोर्स रैपोर्ट, इट इज नेपो, इट इज मकसूदलू, सो सिंधारो, सो सारे स्ट्रॉन्ग ओपोनेंट्स सामने बैठे हैं एंड इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ बैटल टू वॉच. वेलकम चैट. टाइम फॉर्मेट चैट बता दो क्या इसका टाइम है. इट इज 90 minutes for 30 वही 40 moves and then you get 30 minutes after 40 moves. So typical time control and stakes high hai because it is totally possible कि by the time this event ends कोई बंदा 2800 रेटिंग पे बैठा होगा. It is totally possible and I think we have two contenders. I think Arvind के लिए 2800 करना it is difficult but I think in terms of 2800 two contenders Pragg or Arjun. And do not forget chat, whenever we have the graphic ready we'll show you अभी top 12 में कितने 3 या 4 कितने 4 इंडियन है. एंड इफ Pragg wins today with the black pieces against Arvind, if Pragg wins today and let's say Arjun doesn't win, yeah, matlab he has black pieces, let's say he goes for a draw, Pragg will cross Gukesh and Arjun both. He will be the new India number 1 today itself if he wins against Arvind. So he has a rating of 2774.2 and Arjun ki rating is 2778. So he's 4.4 points ahead and Arvind ki rating almost barabar hai. So if he defeats Arvind, he will gain enough points to become the new world number 4 and the new India number 1. So bahut khatarnak stakes. And of course Arvind, if Arvind wins this, he becomes he enters the world top 10 again. So unke liye bhi high stakes. You can see Nepo playing their camera covering that angle there. Of course Nodirbek also playing this event. So Indian players तीनों Nodirbek से खेलेंगे and there you see Arjun with the black piece. उनके unfortunately हरा black ही आते पता नहीं पहले राउंड में कैसे. So maybe it's a luck thing. Yeah, he always has black, 5 blacks and 4 whites, but still he's managed to do so well and that is amazing. और chat आपसे सवाल है, ठीक है? पहला सवाल, welcome chat. पहला सवाल आपसे, who do you think will be India number 1 by the time this tournament ends? There are 3 options, maybe even 4, but let's assume कि Arvind इतना rating gain नहीं कर पाएगा, will be difficult. Technically, Arjun could lose like 2 points and Gukesh could be India number 1. Arjun could maintain or gain his rating and he could be India number 1. Or Pragg could gain just one match and he could be India 1. So who do you think will be India number 1 by the end of this tournament? Chat, Sahaj will not be able to join us for this event. I think Sahaj is playing an event and also ये event हमें थोड़ा last moment plan किया because there were some technicalities. We were not sure if we could stream this event. Literally आज सुबह finalize हुआ है. So that's why we couldn't get Sahaj. And there we have lift off handshakes. Can we go to the Pragg Arvind camera Nidhi bhai? Let's go there and see क्या opening खेलेंगे Arvind. He will have the white pieces. We have the camera blocked. But okay, I can see pawn to f4. What? नहीं E4 होगा यार. It can't be f4. There's no way it's f4. Yeah, E4, thank God. मैंने कहा F4 birds opening, that will be crazy. That would have been insane. And chat, E4 by Arvind, and not to forget, Arvind is a huge talent, yeah. In fact, he was the first one among all these players to reach the top, but then he stagnated for a while, and he is evidence कि कई बार आप plateau भी करते हो अपनी life में, you can always move ahead. He is an inspiration to all of us, but so is Pragg. And hello chat, मैं different location में stream कर रहा हूँ. No Sahaj bhai today, but he'll be back in the BCC next, not BCC actually. Zagreb wale mein. He'll be back in the next event. But for now, we can see Pragg there holding his head. And let's go full screen for now, Nidhi bhai. Abhi kuch moves aaye nahi hai. Let's go full screen. Let's try to follow the games and expressions. And E5 on the board. Simple choice. Seriously saying, rooting for Pragg, but there is Arvind. It is definitely going to be interesting to see how these players battle each other. बहुत मजा आने वाला है इस game में chat. And we can see both players playing very quickly. Knight comes out to F3. Nidhi bhai, do check कि moves क्यों नहीं आ रही. We can have them quickly. 9c6 played. And chat, Bishop C4, C5. What do you think? क्या लगेगा बोर्ड के ऊपर? And chat, by the way, what's your feeling after Norway chess? भाई कैसी feeling आ रही है भाई to see chess again after Norway chess? Norway chess इतना explosive tournament था. We did see Arjun there. We did not see Pragg. And Pragg, of course, must have been seeing the happenings of that event back end से कि भाई क्या crazy event है. And Arvind as well, yeah, दोनों would be gearing up to kind of play professional chess after Norway chess. कितना hype बन गया था. And this would be amazing to see this battle. And Arvind taking his time सोच रहे कि भाई क्या खेलूं. Akash saying Bishop B5 स्पेनिश खेलेंगे. कोई इटालियन सिसिलियन तो हो नहीं सकता भाई. E4 E5 हो चुका है. सर में बहुत कंफ्यूजन है. क्या कंफ्यूजन होती है लाइफ में बता दीजिए. हम चेस का कंफ्यूजन, नॉन चेस कंफ्यूजन सब क्लियर कर देंगे आज. By the way, Knight C3. We have seen Knight C3 on the board. And chat, किसी को याद है हमने last board पे कब देखा था? If I am not mistaken, we saw this opening maybe in that endgame, yeah, Hikaru against Gukesh. Am I wrong? Maybe it was a different move order. I don't remember exactly whether we saw it there. Maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, maybe it was a bit different, but definitely very, very interesting. Knight c3 played. So he's trying to confuse his opponent, and now he puts the bishop on c4. So wondering if there's a reason behind that move or a difference. Kya logic hai? And clearly Arvind had something in his mind. There was Team Rapid and Blitz. Yeah, that was a crazy event. Kitne sare wahan pe upsets hue the, blunders hue the. We saw like a bad boy Anish Giri as well, bhai, in that tournament. So crazy event there as well. And of course, yahan pe bhi crazy event rahega. And now Pragg is taking his time. What will he play? Will he put the bishop on c5 and try to play symmetrical chess? पानी पी रहे हैं अरविंद के अंदर, थोड़ा कांप रहे होंगे वो पानी देख के. Arjun game देखना है भाई. Arjun game भी दिखाएंगे. We'll go to Arjun game quickly. I just want to see how much time does Pragg take actually. Very interesting because फिलहाल के लिए लग रहा है कि Arvind has prepared something. कुछ तो उनकी preparation है and Pragg knows this. Now अब जब opponent preparation करता है ना, he has to go back. He has to go back in time literally. Time travel solve हुआ ना हो, but over the board एक chess player के लिए it is very essential to go back in time, understand कि मैंने इस opening में पहले क्या खेला था, क्योंकि मेरा ओपोनेंट वही गेम देख के आया है. अब पिछली टाइटल ट्यूसडे मैंने क्या खेला था वो गेम्स भी अवेलेबल है. सो ही हैज टू गो थ्रू एवरी सिंगल गेम ही हैज प्लेड इन दिस पोजीशन एंड देन ही हैज टू रिमेंबर कि क्या मुझे अरविंद की कोई गेम याद है इस पोजीशन से, एंड देन ही हैज टू रिमेंबर कि करंट थ्योरी क्या चल रही है. सो लॉट टू काइंड ऑफ recall for Pragg here. That's why you see him playing with his pen right now. And of course, we are getting the moves now bit by bit. Moves भी आने लगी बोर्ड के ऊपर. That is amazing. ये आवाज कहीं देखे ना लगता है. अरे अंश भाई वेलकम वेलकम. सांस ले लो भाई. अरे भाई सांस तो कोई भी ले लेता है, बट सांस और बहू की कोई बनती नहीं है जिंदगी में. एंड एज समबडी ही इज इन हिज मैरिज एज, सांस बहू की नहीं बन सकती भाई, तो सांस कम लेंगे हम. फिलहाल के लिए अरविंद यहाँ पे आंखें बंद करके मेडिटेट करते हुए, आई थिंक वीडी स्टार्टेड दैट ट्रेंड. And Arvind has a typical 2090s के actor वाला look, भाई. Very interesting look for Arvind there. And of course, he knows the stakes, yeah. And not to forget, chat, Arvind would be getting he's been getting a lot more invites recently. पिछले एक साल में इतने tournaments उनको खेले हैं. And अगर किसी को याद हो, it all started with that Vidit invite, right? जो I think कोई event था जहां पे he was supposed to meet PM Modi. He withdrew and Arvind got that invite, played very well, and तब से उनको invite मिलते जा रहे हैं. So sometimes you need that extra luck to go in your favor. And now you see Arvind taking full advantage of it. And now Bishop comes out to C5. बाहर निकालते हैं Bishop. And फिलहाल के लिए सारे piece symmetrical हैं. So what is Arvind's plan? Oh, something very normal indeed. Nothing crazy so far. So कुछ हैंकी पैंकी नहीं कर रहे Arvind. Let's see what he does. And chat, by the way, सवाल आपसे, पहला सवाल आज के लिए, ठीक है? Who do you think wins this event? Because अभी क्या है कि we have not seen game number 1. हमें पता नहीं है कौन फॉर्म में है, कौन फॉर्म में नहीं है. So what is your prediction, chat? कि भाई कौन जीतेगा इवेंट? We have 4 options. One is Arjun. Let's say he's the top seed. Second is Pragg. Third is Arvind. And fourth is anybody else. Anybody else में कौन कौन है? Rapport है, Nepo है, Nodirbek है. So anybody else is a huge category. सहज का है भाई यार, ये event हमने बिल्कुल last minute. I would say कि we did not know if we'll be able to stream this event till today morning itself. So that's why we couldn't get Sahaj on board. And also, like, Sahaj is playing an event, so we couldn't get Sahaj on board for this event, but he'll be back for the next one. And of course, Rakesh bhai will be joining us in the middle. So apologies for that, but yeah, we'll have Sahaj in the next event for sure. Arvind wins. Arvind के lot of supporters. भाई अगर एक साल छोड़ो, 6 महीने पहले पूछता ना who would win this event, Arvind एक बंदा नहीं बोलता. So that's how much he has impressed us all. And you can see with his opening prep, फिलहाल के लिए he is the one in prep, and यहाँ पे Pragg थोड़े से out of prep लग रहे हैं. तो he is. Oh, by the way, can we go to Arjun's game? Something has happened there, and look at Arjun's preparation. भाई ये कैमरा का एंगल थोड़ा गलत लगा दिया भाई साहब ने यार. ये गलत एंगल है भाई, थोड़ा शिफ्ट करो भाई. D4 D6 E4. So we have Bishop D3 E5. We saw Arjun play this, I think, even in Norway chess, right? I think he played it against Uzchess, if I'm not mistaken. And then he was completely winning, but then he kind of lost that game. किसी को याद है क्या? Yes, हम क्रोएशिया भी कवर करेंगे, हम बुलेट चेस चैंपियनशिप सारे इवेंट कवर करेंगे, कुछ नहीं छोड़ेंगे भाई हम लोग. वाह भाई वाह. इस कैमरा को कोई प्रधानमंत्री अवार्ड दिया जाए भाई. थैंक यू भाई, थैंक यू फॉर रिमूविंग इट. ये हैंडल बीच में आ गया भाई, हैंडल कोई हटा दो भाई. ओह, सब सुन रहे हैं हमारी बात यार. कैन पीपल लिसन मी? Oh, people can hear me. By the way, उसकी stare देखी किसी ने भाई? Did you see the stare? Can we go full screen? I want to go full screen भाई. He gave Arjun an insane stare अभी थोड़ी सी भाई. Crazy stare दी उसने. Very interesting chat. डोंट फॉरगेट कि पहला राउंड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वंस यू लूज द फर्स्ट राउंड, इट इज अ हार्ड बार्गेन टू कम बैक फ्रॉम दैट. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट गेम होता है. यू स्टार्ट ऑफ वेल, यूजुअली द गाय हु स्टार्ट्स ऑफ विनिंग इज द गाय हु एंड्स अप विनिंग द टूर्नामेंट इटसेल्फ. कोई भी इवेंट देख लो आप, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. कैंडिडेट्स देख लो आप, वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप देख, वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप एक्चुअली डिंग हार गया, बट दो लोगों का इवेंट है वो. बट इन जनरल एनी ओपन इवेंट जहां पे देयर मोर देन वन पर्सन इज प्लेइंग, यूजुअली द winner of the event lies in the winner of the first round. बहुत रेयर होता है. I think you need a विदित गुजराती performance to kind of win the Grand Swiss. Otherwise पहले राउंड का विनर ही usually event जीतता है. If they can hear you tell Arjun top moves, हाँ भाई अब चीटिंग करने लग जाए हम लोग यार. अगर अगर अर्जुन सुन पाता हम लोगों को for let's say 5 seconds stat, तो क्या बोलते तुम? What would you tell Arjun? No moves यार, चीटिंग नहीं करनी. What would you tell Arjun here? क्या बोलोगे? Vaishali ko, nahi, I don't think the intention was to insult. Is it the same player? I think it is. Like the controversy that happened with the handshake, it is the same guy. I don't think the intention was to insult. And to be honest, उस पे मुझे घुसना भी नहीं है. बट स्टेयर्स तो तगड़ी है भाई. स्टेयर्स में घुसना है मुझे भाई, पूरा घुसना है भाई. जितना घूरोगे उतना मैं घुसूंगा अंदर. Grant was an exception. Exactly. That was one exception for sure. And chat, let's like the stream, bhai. Let's get to 200 likes jaldi se, bhai log. Jaldi se stream like kar do as we look at the top players battle. So E5 खेल दिया Arjun ने, and again he comes up with some interesting ideas which nobody expected. Yeah, so clearly उनको अपनी opening prep, अपनी middle game पे बहुत बहुत भरोसा है. And now Yakubov of course struggling. And not to forget, if Arjun wins today, he crosses 2780 and reaches 2782 or 83. So he is aiming for 2800, by the way. He's aiming for 2800, so that would be an achievement again. He's crossed that before once, and he could do it again. So high stakes and high drama at the end. And of course, Yakubov का भी ड्रामा हो चुका है. Who knows क्या ड्रामा हो जाए भाई? You never know. You never know. Meanwhile, jumping to the Pragg against Arvind game after D3, I think यहाँ दीदी तो देखा था हमने. D6 played, so still Pragg kind of copying Arvind, so to speak, and now pawn to H3. So अभी भी H6 possible है, I think, so he could still continue copying, but Arvind playing very quickly. 5 minute का time difference already है. So let's see what happens. If you win, you will straight up play World Championship. आज कोई मेंबरशिप मिलेंगी? बिल्कुल भाई, 500 लाइक पे मिलेंगी भाई. पहले हम 500 लाइक पे कर देंगे. चलो भाई, तुम्हारे लिए जल्दी से लाइक करो. 500 लाइक पे पहली मेंबरशिप. प्रग अरविंद ड्रॉ. श्रेयांक, दैट्स द क्वेश्चन राइट. अगर आपने नोटिस किया है, पहले राउंड में मैक्सिमम ब्लंडर्स होते हैं. Like any event, any top event, the maximum amount of mistakes happen in the first round. अगर आप open event भी देखो कोई, ठीक है, you will have the maximum number of mistake in round one. इसका मतलब ये है कि the probability of somebody losing is high. In fact, आप ध्यान से जाओ, round one में usually 5 में से 4 रिजल्ट आते हैं, and then round two sometimes is a bit safe, yeah. You will see a few draws. तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि वो गेम ड्रॉ होगा. I think somebody will win this. And of course, Arvind right now looks very well prepared. So if I'm betting money or betting Maggies on somebody, imaginary Maggies, I would bet on Arvind right now. He looks still like he is well prepared. एक मेंबरशिप तो बनता है मेरा भी. इतने फॉलो कर रहा हूं. अरे भाई, फॉलो नहीं करना होता है भाई, चीयर करना होता है भाई इंडियन प्लेयर्स के लिए. एंड टू बी ऑनेस्ट, प्रग की शक्ल से ही लुक्स अ बिट वरिड. और इज इट जस्ट मी? डज ही लुक अ बिट वरिड? आई डोंट नो. He doesn't look that happy with the structure he has gotten, yeah? Somebody needs to cross Fabi, no in top 3. That's disappointing. Bro, top 3 पे आप रुक गए. Let's go 3 ranks below that, because top 4, top 6 में 3 Indians है. So it's kind of a selective data, right? Like top 3 में इंडियन नहीं है, but you have to remember कि top 3 में से 2 लोग तो वैसे भी रिटायर होने वाले हैं, and top 6 में 3 इंडियन है. So I would take that any day of the week. Okay, Pragg still thinking, what will he do? Still no decision from Pragg. He needs to play quickly. Not to forget, chat, यहाँ पे 90 मिनट ही है for 40 moves, and even though you do get 30 minutes, that's it. So it is not like a long time control जहाँ पे हर 20 move के आपको time मिल रहा है. Is anything at stake or just a normal tournament? I would say a lot is at stake, by because India के top 4 में से 3 player खेल रहे हैं, and one could lose a bunch of rating and drop down outside the world top 10. Like it's बहुत stake पे है. This round itself, as we mentioned, if Pragg wins, he becomes world number 4 and India number 1. He crosses Arjun and Gukesh for the first time, I think. I think he's been like India number 1 before, around 2750. But since Gukesh became the world champion, I think Pragg has been like India number 3. Yeah? Arjun and Gukesh में race लगी रही है. So पहली बार he could be India number 1. एंड बाद में प्रग का मैंने एक आर्टिकल भी आई थिंक थोड़ा सा पढ़ा था ऑन द कंट्रोवर्सी विद मैग्नस एंड सो ऑन. सो ही हैज बीन फॉलोइंग नॉर्वे चेस. तो बड़ा क्रेजी इवेंट था भाई. एंड फिडे सर्किट पॉइंट्स तो है ही, एंड नॉट टू फॉरगेट प्रग इज लीडिंग दैट फिडे सर्किट राइट नाउ. सो ही इज ऑन एब्सोल्यूट टॉप. एंड इसका मतलब कि कैंडिडेट स्पॉट के लिए फाइट कर रहे हैं भाई लोग. जस्ट रिमेंबर, एंड अनीश ने एक ट्वीट किया था, अगर अरविंद would not be playing these events, Pragg would be pretty much guaranteed a candidate spot. So Pragg ke samne defeating Arvind is not only a matter of rating and tournament winning, he can remove the strongest contender in the FIDE circuit. So if Pragg wins this event, he is moving towards the candidates. So lot at stake, especially for Pragg, I would say, and of course for Arjun and Arvind as well. But Pragg ke liye bahut at stake. Pragg versus Arvind, head to head, 5 games, 5 draws. And I think आज वो चेंज होगा भाई. आज डेफिनेटली चेंज होगा. अरविंद बाय लुकिंग एट द कैमरा, सोच रहे हैं कि भाई 500 लोग देख रहे हैं भाई, लाइक वाइक कर रहे हैं लोग की स्ट्रीम की नहीं कर रहे भाई. लाइक तो करने चाहिए यार, स्ट्रीम जल्दी से लाइक कर दो भाई. Okay, so Pragg now in deep thought. Arvind still chilling, no pressure whatsoever. So let's have a look at the Arjun game. जहां पे after e5 c3 played by white. So उन्होंने, अरे ये कैमरा में कुछ सीन है भाई. आई थिंक कैमरा मैन ने कसम खा रखी है अर्जुन की गेम नहीं देखने देंगे हमें भाई. भाई ये शॉट तो ठीक है यार, बट आई वुड रादर लुक एट द गेम. आई डोंट नो इफ इट्स पॉसिबल, बट एनीवेज. सो फिलहाल के लिए भाई, oh, thank you. So c3 खेला यहाँ white ने. So he is basically, kind of boosted his center. मारोगे तो मैं pawn से मार दूंगा. And you still have that huge center there. And now Arjun plays knight to d7. So no bishop development just yet. When is candidates होगा अगले साल अप्रैल में. And इस साल अभी 7 प्लेयर और क्वालिफाई करने हैं कैंडिडेट्स के लिए. So it's very very important for Indian players to do well अगर उनको कैंडिडेट्स में क्वालिफाई करना है. And of course अब तक सिर्फ Fabi is the one who has qualified. So 7 spots still up for grabs. Fabi has qualified. Yes, Fabi has qualified, but इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो टूर्नामेंट खेलेगा नहीं. He would still probably play the World Cup. He would still probably play like the Grand Swiss and knock people out. So he can still have an influence in who qualifies. तो ध्यान रखना. आवाज सच में जा रही है क्या वहां पर भाई? हो सकता है यार, एक्चुअली मैं बोल रहा हूं हटो तो लोग हट रहे हैं भाई. क्रेजी है भाई, और क्या बोलूं मैं इनको. By the way, not to forget, yeah, Arvind and Pragg both are RB Ramesh students, yeah. So both have had the same coach. Yeah, okay. Anyway, update करें. Arvind game जाओ and then वापस आ जाओ भाई. Okay, coming back. हाँ, वापस आ गए भाई. So yeah, they both have the same coach. They both kind of had similar trajectories, I think. Probably Arvind came up first, but then Pragg kind of overtook him, and now Arvind has caught up. So ग्राफ उनका सिमिलर है, थोड़ा सा इलोंगेटेड है बस आई थिंक अरविंद का देयर. सो वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग काइंड ऑफ हु टेक्स द बैटल देयर. फिलहाल के लिए याकुबोव स्टिल थिंकिंग नाइट d7. ही इज ऑलरेडी 11 मिनट्स बिहाइंड. 11 मिनट्स बिहाइंड. उनका हाथ कांपता हुआ भाई. और भाई नाइट कैसे अजीब तरीके से रखा ना. Like it felt a bit, I don't know how to put it in I don't know the correct term. It felt a bit nervous for me. Like ऐसे उठा के बस फेंक दिया नाइट f3 पे, ऐसा मुझे लगा. Like it feels like you're trying to show confidence but you're not confident at all. किसी को याद हो जब when Magnus played the world championship against Vichy, his dad mentioned in an interview by Take, right? Like Magnus dropped his knight. लोग कहेंगे क्या हो गया, नाइट ड्रॉप कर दिया. It's not a big deal, but it's a big deal. That means he's nervous. He's basically nervous. And same चीज मुझे यहाँ लगी. Like Jakob just dropped the knight a bit at the end, but he wanted to look confident. So I think he's feeling a lot of pressure right now. And Arvind ko, I am already predicting a win for Arvind here. I'm already predicting a win. मेरे को पूरा confidence है. Sorry, for Arjun of course. By the way, मोदी जी ने दिव्या के लिए ट्वीट किया यार. Congratulations to Divya Deshmukh on defeating the world number 1 Hue Fan in the second leg of Blitz semi-final at World Team Blitz Championships. Oh wow, her success highlights her grit and determination and hopefully inspires many chess players. Wow, so Indian players, all praise from the Prime Minister. That's amazing. And by the way, Arjun still now taking his first thought. Let's see what he plays. कौन इंडिया से करेगा भाई? दैट इज द क्वेश्चन. आई थिंक प्रग के अभी हाईएस्ट चांसेस हैं टू क्वालिफाई फॉर द कैंडिडेट्स. फिडे सर्किट में सबसे आगे चल रहे हैं प्रग. So that is kind of great. And in terms of the position, yeah, I think, yeah, I agree कि he is a bit passive Arjun here, but this is a well-known setup. Like for example, Arjun की theory अभी खत्म नहीं हुई, अगली 15 मूव तक वो रट के बैठ के आया है. So I really don't think it's a problem for Arjun at all. Now the question is, what does he play? Because I'll tell you the interesting point here. After knight f3, Injun ki first preference is actually d5, which is not something black plays at all. For example, यहाँ bishop e7 खेला गया है maximum, g6 खेला गया है maximum, but d5. Like if black can play d5, I think he has already equalized completely. Oh, he played d5 क्या? I think he's played d5. Oh my god. Bhai, Arjun kya aadmi? I think we don't see it on the board, but he has played d5 actually. I can see the pawn on d5. भाई अर्जुन के जो ओपनिंग कोच है आई थिंक उनको सोने में तोला जाना चाहिए भाई. That's crazy. Arjun's team is insane. He's already played that move. This is not normal, and he plays it in seconds. By the way, I think board pe I would have played it myself. And now Yakubov again struggling because Black ने दोनों pawn center में डाल दिए. So what did White get by getting the center? Nothing. And now, Chad, the best move for White is Queen e2, which is, I mean, it looks natural, of course, but it means कि आप अपना bishop देने के लिए तैयार हो. For the knight, you have to give the bishop pair, which is not an easy decision. So Yakubov for queen e2 खेलना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे. Otherwise, Arjun has already completely equalized on move number 5. Move number 5, that is insane. भाई 20-25 मूव लगते हैं ब्लैक को यूटिलाइज करने टॉप लेवल में. Shinath Shinath was his coach actually and also his manager I think for a long while. Not manager actually, for his coach for like a few years. But I don't think he's his coach now. I think they participated. By the way, that's a mistake I think. I think he just took on e5 and that is a slight mistake from Yakubov. And let's have a look at the variation now. So Arjun को de4 मारना पड़ेगा. That is the only move. And now White has to play ef6 only move. And now Black has to play ef3 only move. Oh my god. fg7, bishop g7 and queen f3. This is turning out to be spicy. Actually, look at this. 95 fork. Forking both pieces. So bishop b5 check खेलना compulsory. And now, not c6. c6 but there is queen g3 apparently, and that's dangerous. So you have to play bishop d7. And now queen e2. Chat, I think Yakubov has made a big mistake. Unless he knows this variation, I think Arjun has gotten exactly what he wanted. Look at him playing this so quickly. By the way, d5 के लिए Arjun took 49 seconds and knight f3 के लिए White took 4 minutes 8 seconds. d5 के लिए 2.5 मिनट लिए White ने और Arjun ने सिर्फ 48 seconds. So if that variation happens, Arjun is doing really well. Wow. I would be shocked if Arjun just gets a better position in 10 moves. That would be insane. And he would cross 2782. He will be 2 points behind Fabi world number 3. Arjun knows it. You can see he's getting up. He knows it. And by the way, Arjun has shoes, he has the same shoes. Very interesting. I'm wondering if that's like his superstition or something. Yeah, like he feels these are the lucky shoes because I saw the same shoes in Chennai GM. Yeah, those dark green, sharp green. Very interesting. Which is the most publicity for the World Cup? Yeah, मैंने कोई हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स का आर्टिकल पढ़ा था कि it could be in Goa. Now that would be amazing because Delhi में I think it would be horrible in November. Yeah, the worst timing to have an event in Delhi because foreign players होंगे, they will have health issues. I have health issues and I've lived in Delhi my entire life, Faridabad, whatever. So I think it's great. Goa would be amazing, but of course it's not finalized. I've not seen the final confirmation yet. So let's see what happens. How can Arjun, Pragg and Arjun qualify together? But I think Pragg has to qualify via the circuit, the FIDE circuit, and he's already leading there. Arjun can qualify via the ratings, so he will have to cross Hikaru in the ratings. And then Aravindh will probably have to qualify via the World Cup or the Grand Swiss. So I think these are the easiest paths for 3 of them. But of course, Arjun can also qualify via the World Cup and the Grand Swiss and so on. But I think तीनों का qualify करने के लिए, this is the easiest path. आपकी हाई एनर्जी लेवल का राज क्या है भाई? इट्स जस्ट द पैशन भाई, इट्स जस्ट द पैशन आई थिंक. एंड बाय द वे d4 मार दिया है एंड नाउ याकुबोव रियली थिंकिंग कि भाई मैंने गलती कर दिया. बाय द वे दिस इज द ओनली मूव फॉर हिम. If, for example, you let's say, I don't know, what can you play else? You cannot play anything else, by the way. What can you play? Because if you take, I will take with the knight. So he has to take the knight. He has to take the knight. Bhai, you have no clue what superstitions chess players have. Bhai, I have seen weird superstitions, and I would not be shocked if that's Arjun's superstition. Bhai, I change shoes like every 2-3 months. Bhai. By the way, EF6 played, and now Arjun has to play EF3. Usually that's not logical, right? You want to grab the bishop, but in this case, you take the knight. So it's all preparation. What will Arjun do now? He's right now not even at the seat. Sahaj Bhai will not join us for this event, yeah, because this was a last minute plan. We did not know till morning today if we'll be able to stream because of some tech issues and some other issues and so on. Last minute plan tha, so we couldn't get Sahaj on board. He was also playing an event. But yeah, he'll be back for the next event for sure. Rakif Bhai will be joining us in the middle sometime. But फिलहाल के लिए Arjun, देखते कितना टाइम लेते हैं भाई. सारा प्रिपरेशन है भाई, सारा प्रिपरेशन है अर्जुन का. It is all preparation, and now white either has to castle, which is so hard, allowing this. Of course, after takes, rookie one wins on the spot, but still, like, it's hard to castle, yeah, because this is coming. Or he has to take on G7. Both moves are, well, really making the position very complicated. Arjun can't qualify. He can buy. He can qualify. Abhi Grand Swiss hai, abhi World Cup hai, and he still qualify via the rating. So I don't think it's that difficult for him. Yeah, he's world number 4, and Fabi already has qualified, so he doesn't count. If you look at the world top 4, world number 1 Magnus doesn't want to play. World number 2 Hikaru. World number 3 Fabi already qualified. So 4th is Arjun. So if he can cross Hikaru, or if Hikaru loses some rating, then Arjun qualifies via rating. So that's all he has to do. Cross Hikaru. Ivanchuk, by the way, yes, he's playing in, I think, the futures or some other category. Yeah, there are 3 categories here. हम masters focus करेंगे, of course, because Indian players वहीं पे हैं. So full pressure. By the way, 16 minute का difference हो चुका है. 16 minute. भाई, that is a lot after what, 7 moves. Hikaru lost to Baiso. भाई इतना. I don't want to cheer a Hikaru loss. I think Hikaru is a great player and contemplator, but as a Baiso, ठीक है? It felt so nice to see Hikaru lose to a Baiso. भाई बड़ा अच्छा लगा यार कि एक दिन मैं भी हरा पाऊंगा भाई. उम्मीद मिली. उम्मीद की किरण भाई. Not Shahrukh Khan ki Kiran, by the way, not to be confused with her. Will Hikaru qualify by rating? Arjun doesn't. Yes. So Hikaru का main plan यही है. उसने, अगर आपको याद हो, Norway Chess last day में बोला कि he felt he was better against Arjun, but he didn't push because he felt कि उसको rating maintain करनी है. There was some risk involved, and he wanted to maintain his rating, and that's why I think Hikaru की rating ऊपर नीचे जाएगी नहीं. He will not play any events now. So if Arjun can cross Hikaru's rating, he's very likely to qualify for the candidates directly. So very, very huge stakes here as long as Arjun can cross Hikaru. Once he crosses Hikaru, he could just stop playing. Yeah, he could just stop playing and he would directly qualify for the candidates. He lost to 2290, not 2186. Bhai, मेरा peak 2275 है, ठीक है, and इतना difference है नहीं. So आराम से I can perform at 2290 आराम से, not a big deal. At least उम्मीद तो कर रहे थे ना भाई लोग. प्रॉब्लम क्या है भाई? And meanwhile, chat, going to the just one look at the Arvind Pragg game, because वहां पे after h3 knight a5 खेला Pragg ने, and he wants the light square bishop b3 a6 castles and h6, and bishop pair मिलने वाला है Pragg को. So unless Arvind has something planned, which it looks like he does because time pe bahut aage hai, I think Pragg should be happy with what he got now. He'll get the bishop pair. He has free development for his pieces. He has prevented any pins, and I don't see a problem. I think after taking d5, bhi aayega once you have castled. So I think Pragg should be very, very happy with what he's got. So going back to the Arjun game, I think Pragg should be happy. By the way, फिलहाल के I'm still struggling to see what यहाँ पे Yakubov करेंगे, because he's thinking that means he's out of prep. And if he's out of prep, I think Arjun should be the favorite. Look at Nepo, by the way. Check out the game. ये कहाँ से आ गया भाई? By the way, Nepo के expression, I think after Hikaru, if there's a guy known for expressions, I think it's Nepo. You can see his eyebrows. अगर आप कोने में देखोगे, आपको eyebrows ऊपर जाती हुई दिखेंगी. भाई ये कैसे आया? ठीक भाई, लास्ट इवेंट में आपने कब खेला था? आई थिंक लास्ट आई प्लेड अ रैपिड इवेंट यार रिसेंटली. आई थिंक चेस इंडिया वाला जो रैपिड इवेंट था वो मैंने खेला था लास्ट, बट उतना अच्छा गया नहीं भाई. तो अब रैपिड इवेंट भी कम ही खेलूंगा मैं. Who all players do you think will go for candidates? If I had to predict, I think my 8 players would be Fabi, of course, जो qualify कर चुका है. Arjun, Pragg, definitely. I think Hikaru will somehow qualify, चाहे वो rating से करे या कहीं से करे. 4. Then it will be Nodirbek for sure. 5. Then we will probably have, I think, Nepo / one of the oldies, yeah. मतलब oldies is a very subjective term, यार. But yeah, like Nepo होगा, I think he's like a candidates master, yeah. मतलब हर जगह qualify करता रहता है. And then you will probably have maybe like an outside wild card. Yeah, like I don't know who the wild card will be, but it could be a youngster, somebody like I don't know, I don't know who will it be though. Very hard to guess. But like outside wild card hoga. I'm hoping Anish slash Vidit, one of them makes it, but I don't know कैसे qualify करेंगे. I think Grand Swiss and World Cup are the two paths जहाँ पे Vidit Anish could qualify. And then of course, I think I'm hoping Arvind also qualifies. But Arvind का part थोड़ा और difficult है because I think he missed 2024, right? He was not part of the 2024 cycle because rating कम थी. So उनके लिए जीतना, the only way I see is finishing top 3 in the World Cup or top 2 in the Grand Swiss. So options थोड़े कम है. Fedosiev, by the way, is a great option. Firuza, I don't think will qualify. ऐसा मुझे लगता है because Firuza is playing minimal events, yeah. That's my guess. I could be wrong. By the way, he has taken the pawn on G7, and now you can take, or you can also give Queen E7 check. By the way, and look at this, chat. Look at this. Queen E7 check pick. Can you guess White's best move? White to play. What if Arjun plays this? That's why preparation is important. You might think Queen E7 is working, but it's not working. It's the second best move. What is White's best move in this? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Way qualify nahi karega yaar. I don't think so. Way plays 2-2-2 like safe. He doesn't take enough risk somehow, I feel. गुकेश को ही चैलेंज करने के लिए कैंडिडेट्स खेल रहे हैं. हाँ एग्जैक्टली दैट्स गुकेश को खुद खेलना चाहिए कैंडिडेट्स. मजा आ जाएगा भाई. खुद ही क्वालिफाई करके खुद से ही खेल देगा भाई. प्लेइंग फ्रॉम बोथ साइड्स. चैट द बेस्ट मूव इन दिस पोजीशन इज एन इनसेन. यू कांट कैसल व्हाइट इन चेक भाई. यू कांट कैसल. ठीक है. द नॉर्मल मूव विल बिशप E3. ठीक है. नॉर्मल मूव यू कैन प्ले इट. बिशप E2 एक मूव है. बट द बेस्ट मूव इज क्वीन टू E2. ओह माय गॉड. ओह माय गॉड. क्या चाल है भाई. I have never seen anything like this. यार ऐसे मोमेंट पे आई मिस ताज भाई यार. मतलब what a move. Queen to E2 could be the move in Queen E7. Bhai sahab. And the idea is you take the queen, but I make a new one and I'm completely winning. And if you try to grab the pawn now, you don't take my queen. I can take your queen. I've spoiled your castling. Next I take the pawn, check RA, and white is better. Wow. Wow, Queen to E2. Bhai, that's why you need to know opening preparation. I would have totally played this check and completely forgotten Queen E2, bhai. What a move. What a move. Bhai, WTF moment, I have to agree. Bhai, what the freaking hell is this, bhai? Literally, bhai. Crazy, crazy. What a move. So that's why Arjun, of course, he knew the preparation. तो उन्होंने खेला Bishop G7, thank God. मैं Queen E2 बोर्ड पे आ रहा था, मैं तो कूद जाता. फिर लोग कहते हैं, टिक्कू भाई, आप बहुत चिल्लाते हो टिक्कू भाई फॉर रैंडम रीजंस. भाई क्वीन इंटू पे चलाना बनता है भाई. क्रेजी मूव. अगर होता बोल के पत्तो बच गए. सो FG7 हुआ. Arjun, of course, knowing what to do here, plays bishop takes G7, and now white has two moves. I think one is GF3, which is very hard to play, and now black can even play Queen H4, start attacking. So I don't think he will do that. I think दो option है. One is castling. But you know कि यहाँ पे थोड़ा risk है because black की G file खुली हुई है. And if you're not prepared, you don't want a castle. So the ideal move is Queen F3. But now you have to calculate this first line. 95, Bishop B5 check, Bishop D7, and now Queen E2. ये आप सबको देखना पड़ेगा. C6 now apparently. And now you have to castle. C takes B5 and now pawn to F4. So ये पूरा आपको calculate करना पड़ेगा over the board while Arjun has seen this at home. So बहुत difficult है. Ding I don't think will qualify. Ding is not motivated enough. I think he simply said, yeah, I think he has gotten the world championship now. He achieved the final goal. He's not played enough events. He's not getting enough invites. So I don't think Ding will make to the candidates. Very unlikely. And I'm happy कि world championship से spot हटा दिया कि direct qualification नहीं है because I know we would kind of regret it if Gukesh had lost the world championship, but अच्छी बात है because I think Nepo हर बार qualify कर रहा था and it kind of gave him some advantages there. So now it's pretty fair. By Yakubov, I think he's going down. It would be very difficult to imagine कि इतनी sharp position से you're already 21 minutes behind. Just to point out, अब तक अर्जुन ने सिर्फ 35 सेकेंड यूज किए हैं इस गेम में. 35 seconds. एंड उसके ओपोनेंट ने 22 मिनट यूज किए हैं. दिस टेल्स यू हाउ डिफिकल्ट दिस पोजीशन इज. एटलीस्ट वन मेजर इवेंट शुड बी हेल्ड इन नॉर्दर्न इंडिया. बट कहां करोगे यार टॉन भाई, कहां करोगे? देयर इज नो इन नवंबर You can't really host it in India, I think, Delhi में at least. It's the worst pollution scenario in Delhi, so I'm happy कि दिल्ली में नहीं होगा अगर. I live there. मेरे तो घर के 1.5 घंटा दूर होता भाई literally. So it will be awesome, but I don't think कि it will be good for the players. At the end, players का health issues होंगे तो nobody will be happy with it, yeah. So Queen E चलाना बनता है, अरे बनता है भाई. Imagine yeah, Queen E7, Queen E2, भाई that would be freaky. So that's why I think ये current position and Yakubov struggling right now. I feel like I would legit use the word struggling because I think he's not in prep. The position is complicated. Arjun is in prep, and the things are blowing up. And look at the queen side. अब white king कहाँ जाएगा कैसलिंग करने? Queen side जाना चाहेगा, but look at how many moves away that is. 5 मूव मिनिमम. पहले को पॉन का कुछ करना है. So 1, 2, 3 and then 4, and वो भी of course assuming कि 4-5 मूव में ब्लैक आपको कुछ करेगा नहीं. Black is playing 95 next. So he will attack your bishop, जो आपको दोबारा चलना पड़ेगा. So you are not you're at least 4 to 5 moves away from castling, and there is a check incoming right now, which is deadly. जम्मू में करते हैं भाई, knowing how the situation at the border was literally a month back, I think Jammu would not be best. I'm going to assume maybe not Jammu, yeah. Meanwhile, chat, one look at the Arvind against Pragg game. As I mentioned, huge stakes game here because if Pragg wins, he will cross Gukesh and Arjun in the ratings. He'll be India #1 and world #4. If Arvind wins, he enters world top 10. And day 4, by the way, not a move I expected. So he breaks in the center instantly. जैसा मैंने कहा, if Pragg can take here, and then he can castle and play bishop e6 d5 or even just knight takes and castles, I think he's absolutely fine. So that's why Arvind breaks in the center instantly. But still, I would prefer Pragg. And Pragg, of course, calculating key. I think he should take this. Knight takes d4, and he should simply castle, keep it all safe. Rook e1, rook e8, and I think Pragg is absolutely fine. But I still feel key Arvind at least challenging Pragg here, not giving away, the white player advantage instantly. So Pragg calculating, but I think he will take that pawn. I don't see. Well, he will take the bishop first, but d4 to marna hi padega. There's no other option. Manipur chalega kya? Nahi, I think Manipur, it's in one edge of the country, right? So what will happen is direct flights नहीं होंगी. Imagine कोई US से आ रहा है, कोई यूरोप से आ रहा है, कोई अफ्रीका से आ रहा है. You need a major airport जहां से direct flights है. So it has to be like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, like Goa also, by the way, has connecting airports. So I think one of these cities it has to be, I think. Otherwise it will become very complicated and players का travel time बहुत बढ़ जाएगा and cost बढ़ जाएगा organizer का. So that's why I think the city has to be a major city. Going back to the Arjun game, क्या Arjun के opponent खेले अब तक नहीं? Oh, he's about to take the pawn, but डर लग रहा है भाई. I would also be scared, भाई. This is not an easy position at all. You saw his hand lingering, and now he takes with the queen. He plays the best move in the position, but has he calculated everything else? And now Arjun has to play the only move, by the way. Everything else is +-1 for white. He has to play knight to e5. Ahmedabad hai, but I'm not sure, knowing the current scenario, if you want it to be Ahmedabad. Not sure why. Come to Haryana. मैं हरियाणा फरीदा देता हूँ. हरियाणा में तो नहीं होना चाहिए. Also, November में majority of northern cities का pollution का issue रहता है, including Chandigarh, Lucknow, maybe even Ahmedabad. So I don't think that's the best option. I think Goa is a nice one because it's also like a tourist destination for foreign players. तो काफी facilities उनके हिसाब से है. I think Jaipur would be awesome. Weather wise भी यार इतनी कांपती हुई ठंड होगी यार उस टाइम पे नवंबर एंड में नॉर्दर्न इंडिया में. Pune is also awesome, but Pune, I'm not sure if it's. Oh, by the way, 95 played in the second, yeah. So Arjun still knows what he's doing, and fork lagaya, by the way. So you have to give this check. Anything else loses on the spot. It's okay. He has to give the check. He has to give the check, and he does give that check. And now Arjun has to play bishop d7. As you can see, c6 ke upar queen g3 is a very strong move for white. So he has to find bishop to d7, not the obvious move. c6 looks a bit more obvious, to be honest, but bishop d7 is the move. Will he find it? Yes, he does. Let's go, bhai. Chat stream like karo, bhai. Arjun already. भाई धोते हुए, लेट्स गो, फाइंडिंग द बेस्ट मूव्स. चैट 500 लाइक पे पहली मेंबरशिप मिलेगी, जल्दी से स्ट्रीम लाइक करो भाई. लेट्स गो 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 गो. एंड पानी पीते हुए अर्जुन स्टीलिंग Pragg's फिनिशिंग मूव. एंड फिलहाल के लिए नाउ आफ्टर बिशप d7 he has to find two moves, chat. Either he takes on d7, queen d7, and then plays queen e2, But yahan, black will castle. And look at the position. Black bar saying black is already better. So if white wants to maintain equality, he cannot be better now. All he can get is equality. He has to play queen e2 right now. He has to play queen e2, or Arjun is either winning or he is better. नॉर्थ सेंटिनल आइलैंड, हाँ भाई, वहां पे ही चेस टूर्नामेंट करते हैं भाई। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, यही यही सोच रहा था मैं वही दिमाग में था थॉट। आई एम फ्रॉम फरीदाबाद यार, गाजियाबाद, हाँ बिल्कुल। नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट आफ्टर नॉर्थ सेंटिनल आइलैंड, गाजियाबाद विल बी द नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेशन, बिल्कुल। चाहे बाय द वे एनीबडी जॉइनिंग इन, दिस इज द उज्बेकिस्तान चेस कप मास्टर्स राउंड 1। इंडिया के टॉप 4 प्लेयर्स जो हैं, जो पोटेंशियल ओलंपियाड अगले साल खेलेंगे, कौन कौन है? गुकेश, अर्जुन, प्रग एंड अरविंद। उसमें से 3 प्लेयर ये खेल रहे हैं 4 में से। ओनली गुकेश नॉट बीइंग देयर, प्रग इज प्लेइंग, अर्जुन इज प्लेइंग, यू नो वी हैव अरविंद प्लेइंग। सो दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वालिफिकेशन फॉर द कैंडिडेट्स, बिकॉज इफ प्रग विंस दिस, उनका कैंडिडेट स्पॉट वाया द फिडे सर्किट becomes almost confirmed. If Arvind wins it, उनके chances rise dramatically. And not to forget, India number 1 and Arjun playing for the rating as well. If he crosses Hikaru's rating, he will be the best chance. He will have the best chance to qualify via the rating spot. And of course, the India number 1 spot up for grabs. If Pragg wins today, he might get that as well. So lot at stake right now. देखते हैं क्या होगा. Come on. Let's go. Full pressure on Arjun's opponent. Arjun walk करते हुए भाई कुछ भी बोलो, Arjun के 10,000 steps आज तक मिस नहीं हुए हैं. पता है, मैंने उससे पूछा था कि भाई आप कभी स्टेप्स मिस करते हो? कहता नहीं भाई, 10,001 भाई, शगुन के लिए एक एक्स्ट्रा। ट्रू स्टोरी। सूरत यार, आई एम नॉट श्योर, इट्स नॉट अ मेजर एयरपोर्ट यार, सो आई डोंट थिंक वर्ल्ड कप सूरत में हो सकता है मेरे हिसाब से। एंड फिलहाल के लिए बाय द वे टाइम देखा जाए तो 1 घंटा 3 मिनट। आई थिंक दिस इज टर्निंग आउट टू बी अ हार्ड गेम फॉर व्हाइट। Oh wait, he's taking the bishop. Oh, that's not the best move. If he takes the bishop, Arjun is already slightly better. This would be, of course, it's not. By the way, queen e2 is equal. Bishop d7 slightly better for Arjun. Everything else loses for white. So it will not be lost for white, but it will be slightly better for Arjun. So bishop d7 is a slight mistake. And he's about to play it. He's about to make that mistake. भाई जब बंदा गलती करने के लिए रेडी है, उसको रोको मत। कर दो गलती कर दो भाई। Don't miss out. Let's go. Full pressure, by the way. Not an easy decision for them to make, because white is thinking, let me just kind of take that bishop, because from white's angle, right, he wants to keep it simple. He doesn't want to play queen e2 and maintain this tension. He wants to keep it simple and mix it. And he has to take what? That's a blunder. Arjun is winning. Oh my God. It's over. I cannot believe it. That's a blunder. The game is over. What? Oh my God. अभी बंदा बोलेगा टिक में चिल्ला के दो, बोलो कहाँ है बंदा वो? Oh my God, he has blundered the game away. Castles, and Arjun is winning. It's over already. What? Okay, फालतू में स्ट्रेस लेता कि स्ट्रीम लंबी होगी, you know, there will be clash between Bullet Chess Championship and this. भाई इतना जल्दी गेम खत्म हो गया तो फिर तो बढ़िया है भाई। That's a miss. Can we go full screen? Look, other players are coming in and watching the game. They cannot believe it. Chat, let's have a look what the problem is. And I can guarantee you, अर्जुन को पता ना हो क्वीन b7 ब्लंडर है, बट ही नोज कि क्वीन e2 इज द बेस्ट मूव एंड बिशप d7 इज इक्वल। उसको पता है कि दिस इज अ, लाइक ही माइट नॉट नो हाउ इट इज अ ब्लंडर, बट ही नोज इट इज अ ब्लंडर. इट इज ओवर. लेट्स हैव अ लुक हाउ. सो क्वीन b7, white miscalculating, and the only move for Arjun, by the way, very important, only move is castles, and इसके बाद the game is over. Let's have a look how. ठीक है, can we go full board DD5? Very important. Let's have a look how Arjun is winning, because Arjun will take a couple of minutes even if he understands कि कैसे हार रहे हैं. Let's have a look. So queen b7 blunder. Now castles is the move, right? So only move for Arjun. He will play it. And now what does white do? First of all, if I just castle, मैंने castle किया, rook to b8, and you lose the bishop, it's over. Queen a7, bishop b5, rook b5, you are a piece down, resigns. ठीक है, it's over. Next, Let's say I don't castle. I want to move the queen somewhere. Kaha move karo? Well, let's say I take the bishop. I take the bishop here. Then I don't take it back. I play knight d3 check. The king has to move. King f1, queen d7, and this is lost. The bishop is hanging. Rook e8, rook e1, mate aa raha hai. Let's say I play, bishop e3. I wanna develop the bishop and avoid mate. Rook a b8. Queen kahan jayegi? Let's say queen f3. Yeah? Knight e5, threatening queen to d1 mate. So you have to play queen e2 now. And chat, can you find the best move for black in this position? I think this is what black missed. I think black missed this. What is black's best move in this position? Arjun is about to win in just 10 moves. And Arjun has castled. Arjun has castled. He has played castles. Chat, the move is rook takes b2. Queen takes b2 and queen d1 checkmate. Let's go full screen, bhai. Arjun has castled. Bishop d7 played. And now 19th on the board. We are going to see this over the board. Oh my God. What a game. What a game by Arjun. He's going to win outright. Rook b2, chat. You're absolutely correct. Chat on fire by chat. You are playing stronger than a 26-59 player right now. Pat yourself on the back. अगर सिंगल हो तो खुद करो, डबल हो तो किसी और से करवाओ, बट फिलहाल के लिए 93 is the only move. And Arjun knows this. Arjun knows this. He is gonna gain 4 more points and he will go to 2-7-8-3 right now. What a game, bhai. This is brutal. This is like absolute destruction by Arjun. By black pieces say opening नहीं. Just to point out, anybody joining in, this was the position. The only 2 moves were queen e2 and bishop d7. Both were okay for Arjun, but white blundered in the opening itself. Opening blunder hai ye. Move number 11, castle's best move. यहाँ bishop d7 mara, and now knight d3 is the winning move for Arjun. And there is no, yes, this is the handshake decline guy. There is no defense. Knight d3 check. King f1 हमने देख लिया. Let's say I play king to d1. Anyways, queen d7. And now knight f2 check from the queen and winning the rook. And he gives the check. Erigaisi Arjun is on absolute fire right now. He is about to win the game. And Yakubov Nodirbek is going down in the opening itself. We did not even make it to the middle game right now. Wow. I am just stunned. I am really stunned. Anup saying Arjun bhai OP bilkul W prep Shreyas bhai scholars mate to nahi kiya Shreyan bhai. I don't think this is scholars mate, but this is a great weapon. Yeah, knight d3 check killer. You kind of know. The thing is, Arjun did not have to think of the board. So that's the advantage, right? That's the advantage of strong preparation. You play complicated lines where you have to be better than your opponent. So that's exactly what Arjun did. And now he's crushing. And look at the bishop, by the way. He's not even taking this. Abhi calculate karo. Material. White. Okay. 1, 2, 3 minor pieces. Black has 2. Pawns calculate karo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So white is a piece and 2 pawns up right now, but he's lost. That's crazy. That's crazy, actually. Wow. You predicted future. Bro, I am not predicting anything. Arjun predicted this future at his home. He's the real guy, भाई. घर पे predict किया अर्जुन और उसकी टीम ने भाई. I don't know who is part of Arjun's team, but hats off, भाई. We saw his opening prep in Norway Chess. He played so well. His opening Fabi ने कोई novelty निकाली. Arjun पहले ही देख के बैठा था. So I don't know who is part of Arjun's team, but if he qualifies to challenge Gukesh, it is gonna be a tough battle because opening phase में I think Arjun is probably, it's my guess, I could be wrong here, but he seems to be the best prepared, even though उसने world championship cycle नहीं खेली. So, but he's very well prepared in the opening. So his team is doing a heck of a job right now. King safety is important. Absolutely, bhai. You're hitting the nail on the head. And unfortunately, it's the white king's head here, and it's looking like he's gonna go down. Jakub defending the champion is now in heartbreak of yesterday. I think he knows it now. You can see it on his face. Yeah, he knows it's over. He knows it's over. Look at his expressions. He knows it's over. And look at Param trying to kind of understand the position. And you can see him realizing it now. It is heartbreak. And Yakubov Nodirbek is going down in the opening itself. This is going to be arguably and possibly the shortest game of this event. Could it be the shortest game? Very, very likely, actually. And chat, now the question is, I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Welcome, Vasuki. Glad to have you again. The question for you is, How many moves will this game last? Right now, we are on move number 12. Prediction kar lo, kitni moves ye game chalegi? So I'm going to take a prediction. Mera prediction hai. Let me think. So let's say king f1, knight, okay, queen d7, he plays bishop e3, then rook e8. I'm going to predict like 16 moves. 16 would be my prediction. Like 4 more moves they will play. ओ पिक्चर एलिमेंट ने मेरा गेस किया 27 इज टू मच. अगर ये गेम 27 मूव्स तक गई तो आई एम गोना गिव यू डायमंड मेंबरशिप फ्रॉम माय पॉकेट बाय एक महीने की. दैट्स ऑन मी. 27 तो नहीं होने वाला. 4 more. I also think 4 more नवीन भाई. मुझे ये लग रहा है कि 4 हो जाएगा. 30 is too much अभिमन्यु भाई. It's only 12 moves so far. If White survives 30 moves, I think Arjun has blundered by now. So he will not even win the game. 17, 19 is possible. Depends on how much he, drags the game on for. And chat, anybody joining in, let's like the stream. Let's get to 500 likes because Arjun Erigaisi in round number 1 with the black pieces is crushing a 2660 player, a world top 70 player right now in the opening itself. You know how rare that is? This is an exceptional preparation by Arjun and his team, and just hats off. Yeah, he's not even at the board. वहां पे भीड़ उमड़ गई है भाई. लिटरली मुझे वो मतलब याद आ रहा है, वो ऐसे वो सब्जी मार्केट की फीलिंग आ रही है भाई. इतने लोग हैं वो गेम देखते हुए. एंड दैट्स हाउ क्रेजी द ओपनिंग प्रिपरेशन इज. स्टार्टिंग से एक बार क्विकली रन थ्रू. दिस वाज द पोजीशन चैट एंड अर्जुन प्लेड d6. He again went for this. We saw him play this against Mukesh, I think, in the Norway chess tournament. Bishop e5, c3, knight d7. I think knight f3 here was the first slight error because Arjun could break in the center with d5. And now we entered this complicated variation jahan pe Arjun was in prep. And by the way, very important move. Agar yahan pe Queen e7 check aata, the best move for white was queen to e2. Sacrificing the queen, but making a new one and winning the game. So Arjun knew this, of course. Mara, 95, check, bishop d7. And this is where queen e2 was the move. But he played queen b7. And now castles, bishop takes d7. And knight d3 check is the winning move. And Arjun is completely winning. वाओ भाई, ये गेम में तो मजा ही आ गया भाई. व्हाट अ स्टार्ट टू द इवेंट भाई. फ्रीकी स्टार्ट. मजा आ गया भाई ये देख के भाई. एब्सोल्युटली beautiful game, just beautiful game. And you have to really give credit to Arjun ki matlab to play d6 in round number 1 you need guts, you need confidence. And jo uska strategy hai of giving his opponent a slight advantage in the opening, the middle game, playing the second, third best move. We saw this in the Olympiad, we are seeing this right now, we saw this at Norway Chess. It's really working well. So chat, ek baar Arjun OP ho jaye bhai. Chat mein banta hai bhai ek baar. You know, the game is not over yet, but just for his opening preparation, Arjun OP in the chat, fully deserved by fully deserved. He's losing a piece of force. Yeah, I mean, he's a piece down. So I don't think losing the piece is the problem. After king f1, you will not take on c1. You will not take this, you will take this. You want to maintain this knight close to the white king. And the threat is rook e8 and rook e1 checkmate. Khatam. 2 moves checkmate. So white को defense करना पड़ेगा, and then you can take the bishop on c1. You can even play rook b8. Rook takes b2 as we saw in some variations, and it seems to be just completely winning. And Yakubov, you know, ये ऐसा मोमेंट है जहां पे आप पानी की बोतल खत्म कर देते हो यार. आपको पता है कि गेम्स आज चलनी नहीं है. So let me just finish the water. Yeah, it was hurt a lot. It will hurt a lot because you don't want to lose like this. It really puts your entire event in a tilt. I think you are really coming back from it. And it's just not how you want to start an event. So yeah, Arjun OP. भाई मजा आ रहा है भाई. Absolutely insane start. Absolutely insane start. And just want to have a brief look, a 10-second look at the Pragg Arvind game. It feels like Pragg has completely equalized. Knight b3 takes, pawn takes, knight takes, castles, and bishop e3. But the game is now roughly balanced. And of course, black will play rook e8. He will play bishop d7. White will try to defend the pawn. And we will see a long struggle. So we'll come to this game because we will have time here. And Pragg, by the way, 20 minutes behind. So he has to keep an eye on the clock there. But फिलहाल के लिए the game where Arjun is already winning is this one. Bhai, what a game, man. What a start. Kandivam indeed, yaar. Matlab, I'm very impressed. I'm really impressed. And Arjun takes a huge step towards the rating of 2800 again. And Niva, I don't know if you can have that 27 chess graphic at some point. Not to forget, all he has to do is cross Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru sitting at a comfortable rating of 2807. It's not going to be easy. But for Arjun, if he can cross that rating somehow once, he can just stop playing then and he will directly qualify to the candidates. So that's a huge possibility. He's crossed that rating before. If you try to see peak, I think live rating was 2809. So he has done it before. Can he do it again? Come on, come on, come on. Yakubu looking around. He is not happy. He's shaking his head, and there's not much to do. The king has nowhere to go. We saw king f1. We saw king here. If king e2, by the way, now I can even take on c1, I guess, but I'm still going to take this and threaten rook e8 and rook e1. So this feels like it's just over. Why? It's just completely over. I don't see any defense whatsoever. So king f1, the best move. Queen d7. Let's try to see what white can do, yeah, to prolong the game. Let's say I play knight to a3. So the idea is, मैंने यहाँ पे ये defend कर दिया rook से. And now black can just play rook f8, threatening mate in 1. So if you try to play g3, king को रास्ता देने के लिए, you will think it's saving the game, but queen h3 भी आ रहा है. So there is no respite. There is no respite. And if you play queen g2, blocking rook e1 anyways, mate. So I don't see how I mean, maybe you play bishop e3 now, but rook a b8. Maybe queen f3 back, rook takes b2. Maybe you saved checkmate for now, but this still feels like it's over, chat. It feels like it's completely over. How good is this engine? Can a better engine be made? I'm sure there are better engines. It's not the best engine in the world because depth thodi low hai. And also any engine, the longer you keep it on, the better it gets because it is able to calculate deeper. So, but I think it's pretty obvious, like this engine is pretty strong. It's good enough to understand that black is completely winning. And Arjun, not to forget, is in his prep. So that means he doesn't, like, it doesn't matter. Like he already knows what to do. So that means 93 already preparation thi, and that means he understands कि अगली 5 moves क्या है. And if Arjun has already seen the previous 5 moves at home, as Shreyas Bhai said, it's basically over. What a game, by the way, so far. But Arjun still has to finish it off, of course. We have huge hopes that he'll be able to do so. Chat, stream like karte chalo. Can we get to 500 likes quickly? World Cup ke liye Bangalore. Chat, let's spam your preferred location for the World Cup. What would be your, dream city for the World Cup in November? That time period is very important. Weather ध्यान रखना है, pollution ध्यान रखना है, connectivity of flights ध्यान रखना है, lot of factors there. So what would be your dream location? Because also losing in Norway chess, it's never over. I know, Reet, I absolutely agree with you. The difference here is कि वहां पे क्लियर मूव्स नहीं थे. लाइक द गेम्स वर वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. यहां पे आई कुड प्ले दिस, लाइक इफ आई वाज ब्लैक, if I didn't win this, I would be mad at myself. Like I would be really genuinely mad because the moves are very simple. I take the bishop, rook a b8, rook fe8. Like it's a simple moves ho nahi sakti. And second thing is, the difference is he's already prepared. Arjun is already prepared. Of course, it's not over yet. I will not say it's completely over, but this is a much different situation to what Mukesh had earlier. Delhi, Goa, Nagpur, Dehradun would be nice, but I think connectivity ka issue hai. Odisha, also, I'm not sure how well connected Bhubaneswar is to every single airport in the world. Jamshedpur, definitely not connected enough. Ahmedabad connected to hai, but there are some issues right now. Kathmandu to India mein hai nahi bhai, ye kaun tha? So I don't know who that was. Nagpur not well connected. I don't think so. Kolkata is connected, I think. But Kolkata ke liye, I don't think it's like one of the contenders. जो मैंने आर्टिकल पढ़ा हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स का, आई थिंक उसमें चंडीगढ़ था, उसमें गोवा था, एंड वन मोर सिटी. 3 options were there. I don't think कोलकाता was one of them. चंडीगढ़ में भी सेम ए क्वालिटी इंडेक्स का इशू होगा यार इन नवंबर. इट वाज 550 इन चंडीगढ़ लास्ट नवंबर. So and it was 1000 in Delhi. So I don't think भाई बाहर के प्लेयर्स को 5 एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स की आदत है, 5. So उनको 500 देना will be a problem, I think. Goa announced, Tane also confirmed on Sagar show. I mean, I have not seen it published on official channels. Yeah, FIDE पे नहीं है. I have not seen it published. I think 99% confirmed है. But I have not seen it published in articles. So you never know, yeah. But yeah, Goa is very likely right now. Patna, I'm not sure. Not connected. Yeah, not connected enough. Pune would be nice. I would like Pune as well. Pune also a good contender. But पुणे में ऑलरेडी एक इवेंट हो चुका है इस साल. That was the FIDE Women's Grand Swiss. But Grand Swiss, sorry, the क्या बोलते हैं इसको, ग्रैंड प्रिक्स का इवेंट था. By the way, he just held his eyes, yeah, Yakubov. He just held his eyes, his face. He could not believe कि क्या खेल दिया उसने. So it's very, very, of course, sad for him, but very, very good for Indian fans. Ki Arjun gets a crushing victory. It will really, that's hard to watch, of course, but it gives Arjun immense confidence कि you can win a game like this in round one. कल round two में पूरा charged up आएगा Arjun. Yeah, he'll be probably having the white pieces and he'll be fully charged up कि भाई आज भी जीतना है. And by the way, who does Arjun play tomorrow? I'm checking. He plays Maqsoodlu tomorrow, and Maqsoodlu is a very, double-edged player, so full chances for a win there. And of course, कल Pragg, Arvind और Arjun तीनों के white होंगे, so कल भी अच्छे chances हैं. By the King F1, best move played by Yakubov Nodirbek, but Arjun should know Queen D7 is the best move. Now, Knight C1 is also winning, chat. It's also winning, but Knight C1 and Queen D5 gives some chances for Yakubov to fight back. So Arjun should take the bishop and keep the knight attacking the other bishop. So Queen D7 is the best move, the clearly winning move here. शिमला नहीं रे, शिमला कैसे पहुंचेंगे वर्ल्ड के टॉप प्लेयर, वेरी अनलाइकली. Mumbai would be awesome. I think Mumbai is a great option in November, especially. But I don't think it was in the top three choices. So मुश्किल लग रहा है मुझे. Come on, Arjun, Queen D7. Chat question for you. Will Arjun play Queen takes D7? Yes or no? What's your prediction? I think 100% yes, he's taking that bishop, yeah. Connecting his rook, allowing rook a B8, defending the knight, and then rook F8, rook E1 mate का threat है. अर्जुन अपनी अर्जुन पता है अभी कहाँ है? He's in his opening files right now. he's literally time traveling to when he was in front of his laptop. Like that's what I used to do. Like जब मुझे याद करना होता था, I would sometimes forget the preparation, so I would try to visualize when I was sitting in front of my laptop. So what was I seeing? I would imagine the background, everything where I'm sitting and try to visualize कि भाई क्या खेला. So अर्जुन exactly वही कर रहा है अभी. याकूबोव और मैं दोनों पानी पी रहे हैं भाई. But I think याकूबोव का probably finish करने का टाइम आ गया बॉटल. चेन्नई में शायद ना हो. आई थिंक प्रॉब्ली दे वांट सम अदर लोकेशन इज माय गेस. कि हर बार चेन्नई में ही होता है. मे बी दैट्स व्हाई इट माइट नॉट बी द लोकेशन. धर्मशाला अगेन डिफिकल्ट. यार धर्मशाला के लिए पहले आपको दिल्ली ट्रैवल करना है. सो इफ दिल्ली ट्रैवल करना है दिल्ली में कर लो. अगेन एज आई सेड, पीपल वांट टू ट्रैवल डायरेक्टली टू द सिटी. या इमेजिन कोई बंदा यूएस में है, वो पहले 24 30 घंटे की फ्लाइट करके आ रहा है. अब उस बंदे को दोबारा तुम कनेक्टिंग फ्लाइट भेजोगे तो वो पागल हो जाएगा बंदा. Hyderabad may be an option, but it again wasn't the top three cities, I think. By the way, Arjun's still thinking. That tells me maybe he's not completely sure about Queen D7, yeah? Maybe there is some chance to go wrong. Maybe 100% guess is wrong here. Arjun, come on, Queen D7 marna hai bhai. We cannot risk it. By the way, Arvind Pragg game right equal right now, so nothing has happened since then. We'll go to the game. Pragg, by the way, 30 minute piche hai. That's the only update. So Pragg has to play quickly. डोंट बैट माउथ. अरे नहीं भाई, अहमदाबाद का भी आई थिंक एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स सेम होगा, सिमिलर टू चंडीगढ़ आई थिंक ड्यूरिंग नवंबर. सो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स द बेस्ट ऑप्शन. भाई मैं तो अपनी होम सिटी को भी कह रहा हूँ भाई, दिल्ली वुड बी द वर्स्ट सिटी इन नवंबर आई थिंक, प्योरली बिकॉज ऑफ पोल्यूशन. या कम ऑन कम ऑन कम ऑन. गोवा इज अमेजिंग भाई. फॉरेन पे रहेंगे, बीचेस पे जाएंगे, मजा आएगा. आई डोंट थिंक वी हैव द टू बोर्ड व्यू ना यहाँ पे. मे बी वी कैन गेट इट टुमारो. आई थिंक वी कैन सेट इट अप फॉर टुमारो मे बी. दरभंगा क्या है भाई? ये भाई अब तुम पनवेल भी बोलोगे, कोई बंदा भी पनवेल लिखेगा चैट में. पलवल और पनवेल, हाँ ये दोनों लोकेशन बढ़िया है. By the way, clearly not a happy moment for Yakubov Nodirbek. He knows the inevitable. I think if Yakubov is able to calculate he is dead lost, I'm pretty sure Arjun, even if he's not prepared, he will be able to do so. Yakubov के starting 3 games इंडियन से ही है. बाप रे, That is bad luck. Because not only are like these three Indians, they are the top three seeds of the event, right? Because world number okay, I think Arvind is not like one to win this fourth, but आप टॉप चार में से तीन प्लेयर खेल रहे हो पहले तीन राउंड में, तीनों इंडियन, बाप रे दैट्स डिफिकल्ट. फिर प्लेयर्स, नहीं नहीं भाई, आई डोंट थिंक प्लेयर्स विल गो देयर. Top three, consider three options that are considered. One was Chandigarh, one was Goa, and one I don't remember. Was it Lucknow or some other place? मेरे को याद नहीं है. I don't remember that one. Pragg down 30 minutes. I know. So Pragg has to play it quickly, but I think kuch chala nahi hai, so we'll not do that game right now. But I think the position is quite simplified now, so Pragg should be okay. Bishop pair hai, so there should be nothing to worry for Pragg, at least for now. But does Yakub have something to worry? Absolutely. And Arjun queen d7 maar do bhai. Let's take that bishop. Let's remove that, active piece, if you can call it, and then फिर rooks develop करते हैं. And ये bishop की game में जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ने वाली. I think this bishop will just sit and defend the king, avoid any checks from here, and this will be game over in the next 5 moves, I think. Change Pokli क्या है भाई? कन्याकुमारी. अभी मैं डालता हूँ फेडे को पिटिशन भाई, कन्याकुमारी अभी करें. रुको, कमान 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 अर्जुन भाई, किल द क्वीन d7. भाई थोड़ा मैं इतना सोच रहा है अर्जुन, ये थोड़ा थोड़ा सा नर्वसनेस हो रही है, हल्का सा, लाइक स्लाइट नर्वसनेस की, मे बी दिस इज नॉट समथिंग ही हैज सीन एट होम. Maybe King F1 is something he didn't go deep into. Maybe he doesn't remember it. Like, I'm not sure exactly what's the situation, but it would be hard to believe that he saw knight d3 and then he didn't see the first preference of the engine for white, right? I think if King d1 khela hota, it would make sense. Maybe he has not seen it. But King f1 dekha hi hoga, because this is what the engine recommends. So maybe what he's doing is he has seen queen d7. He's trying to calculate uske aage kya, what next. I think वहां पे उनका फोकस ज्यादा है. He probably does remember queen d7. एक राउंड कश्मीर में, एक राउंड कन्याकुमारी में. वाह भाई, ये मॉड भाई को अनमॉड करने का प्रोसेस चालू हो चुका है भाई. हाउ कैन अर्जुन क्वालिफाई कैंडिडेट्स? आई थिंक ही हैज मेनी पाथ्स. रेटिंग स्पॉट है, वर्ल्ड कप है, ग्रैंड स्विस है. आई थिंक इन तीनों में से किसी भी तरीके से ही कैन क्वालिफाई. कम ऑन कम ऑन, दिल्ली में करवाओ. N95 फ्री में पाओ भाई. I am not kidding. I once attended like not a tournament. I went to meet a friend at a tournament in Delhi, and this was not even November, like June, July. उसमें बाहर के प्लेयर कुछ आए हुए थे. नहीं, this was October actually, October. By the 27 played, Arjun has found the best move. Brilliant move by Arjun, and now Yakubov is completely lost. You can see that slight acceptance of the situation right now from his expressions. He knows this is the best move, and now simple thread chat, simple. Rook e8, rook e1, checkmate. That's it. That's it. Game khatam. Do move mein. So Yakubov has to come up with some very, very clever moves to first of all even avoid mate. And it's not going to be easy. Arvind ki 10 rating kahan gaya? I think he lost one game to a low rated player. It can happen sometimes. But he has a chance to cover that up today. So Arvind, if he wins today, he enters the world top 10 again. He's one game away. इतना जल्दी, एग्जैक्टली भाई, इतना जल्दी हार गया भाई. That's crazy. And what does he do now? Because we saw knight a3, we saw bishop e3, we saw queen f3, we saw, I think, g3 also. I mean, we saw g3 after the previous move, yeah. So there are no, like, bishop e3 is the most logical move for me, yeah. But now I think rook a b8, queen f3, and now maybe just rook takes b2 looks very, very, very strong. In fact, 95. I think 95 first, yeah. 95, queen e2, and now rook takes b2. This is what we saw. Completely winning. Our queen e1 khelna padega. Arey baapre, because queen b2, queen d1 is checkmate. So, yeah, things looking difficult for Yakubov. And Arjun crushing. मजे ले रहा है वो भाई. मजे तो लेने चाहिए यार. If you have this position as black, you should enjoy it, I feel, because you will not get like such a victory in every second game. Yeah, it will happen once in 100 games, maybe once in 50 games. So it's very difficult. They should host it in Chennai, best weather and good connectivity. Yeah, I think maybe the idea was, I'm just guessing by the way, कि the idea was to host it in a place apart from Chennai, ताकि we can establish a bunch of places जहाँ पे वो हो सकता है. For example, पुणे में हुआ था इस बार Women's Grand Prix. That was a new city that got added to it and got experience hosting a FIDE event. Now it can be, let's say, Goa. Next time कुछ और. So ताकि इंडिया में बहुत events. So if Chennai is the only city that can host it, that really limits it, right? Because we only have one option. So I think it's probably a good decision. It's hard to say like for sure, but maybe it's a good decision कि और cities भी host करेंगी. Dharamshala is pretty, I've heard, but the thing is, यार वही connectivity का issue है. It will be very difficult for players to travel there. I feel कि you do not want to take another connecting flight, direct flight. कोई बंदा लॉस एंजल्स में बैठा है, उसकी डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट होनी चाहिए भाई. तो सोचो कहाँ जा सकते हो. पाकिस्तान इज ऑल्सो अ गुड ऑप्शन कह रहा है प्रशांत भाई. Okay, I'm going to ignore that for now and I'm going to focus on the game. कई बार game पे focus करना अच्छा रहता है, like its moves काफी interesting है. So Queen D7 played and now I think 46 minutes for white. By even if this game was completely equal, this would be difficult to hold now because you're already 51 to 40 minutes behind or something, 43 minutes behind if my calculation is not correct. No, not 43. 5-0-1. Sorry, 33 minutes. मेरा मैथ्स कमजोर हो गया भाई. भाई एमबीए की तैयारी भी करी है मैं 2 महीने. इतना कमजोर मैच तो नहीं होना चाहिए, बट ओके. Come on. देहरादून डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट फ्रॉम लॉस एंजलिस क्या विशाल भाई? Oh, by the way, he was about to play a move. I think he was about to move the queen, or did I just see that incorrectly? Because queen f3 is a move, but then I take the bishop and I'm a piece up. So that just feels like the simplest way for white to just resign 2 moves later. So queen f3, I don't think is the way to play. You have to save the bishop either with bishop e3 or with knight a3, I think. Or bishop g5 also, but you have to save the bishop, right? Otherwise you have piece down, फिर क्या ही खेलना बचा. Resign ही कर दो उससे better. धोनी के फार्म हाउस पे, हाँ, शाहरुख खान के मकान के अंदर कर लेते हैं, मन्नत के अंदर. आई थिंक ये कर सकते हैं. ये अच्छा डेस्टिनेशन है भाई. अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड्स इज वेल कनेक्टेड. भाई आइलैंड्स पे कितना कॉम्प्लिकेशन होगा भाई. It just increases the cost for the organizers, right? You want to keep the cost limited. Remember, कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइज तभी कराएगा इवेंट when they are making a profit. So जितना कॉस्ट बढ़ेगा उतना मुश्किल है. 4 Indians can qualify for the candidates if it's within the Grand Swiss. I think 4 would be insane. I think 4 लेकिन नहीं होगा because Mukesh is not an option. I don't think 4 qualify करेंगे. That's just too. If it happens, amazing. But that's just too hopeful. I think 3. I think 2 would be minimum. 3 would be like likely, and 4 would be a miracle. Let's just say. बाकी 5 हो गए तो भाई you should not forget, by the way, कि इस बार चैट वर्ल्ड कप में कार्लसन नहीं खेलने वाला है. So last time, if Carlson had, by the way, Carlson last time knocked out Gukesh. Carlson last time knocked out Arjun, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong here, chat. So Carlson not playing really increases the odds of every single Indian player to qualify for the candidates. So you have Nihal there playing, you have Hari Krishna playing, you have Arvind playing, you have Vidit playing, so many players. So you could have 4 people qualify. Like it would not be a complete shock, right? Can कुछ World Cup Grand Swiss? Yes, he can. He can totally play these events, but he can't play the candidates. So that's the difference. So he can play, but जो spot होगा उसके अगले बंदे को मिलेगा. Pragg knocked out. अच्छा, Pragg knocked out Arjun क्या? अच्छा, अर्जुन को हाँ, अर्जुन knocked out. हाँ, ठीक है. Pragg का maybe it was Arjun, but yeah, but I think you remember he knocked out Gukesh, yeah? He knocked out Gukesh in one. I think he knocked out 2 Indians. Maybe it was Nihal then. Like Carlson knocked out 2 Indians, if I'm not mistaken. It was 2 Indians for sure. One was Gukesh. Pehla game, I think Ukesh lost, and second was a draw. By the way, chat, Queen D7, still white thinking. I don't see any updates. One look at the Arvind game. Bishop B4 played. So the idea is taking and taking on E4, which is a slightly risky move, I think, because you're moving the same piece twice. Like Rook E8 was more natural. But यहाँ पे simple, knight D E2, yeah, defending the knight. And अगर मारते हो, I can now take with the knight and save my pawn. So Arvind should be okay, and the clock is a worry for Pragg, so he should play it quickly. And as of now, the position does feel like it's solid for both sides. So no side really getting the edge. So let's go back to the Nodirbek against Arjun game. And he's still thinking. Ronak Sadhwani, that's a good question actually. I think Ronak would also be a contender because he played very well in the World Rapid and Blitz, अगर आपको याद हो. So I think he would always be a contender. There are many others. I think Avinyu Puranik hai. There is SL Narayan always who can conjure up a victory. There's so many Indians और भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं यार 2600 के आसपास बहुत सारे लोग हैं. But I think in terms of the problem is that you have to reach top 2 in Grand Slam and top 3 in World Cup. So you really have to be better than the Caruanas, the Hikarus, so it's that's why I think maybe they might not qualify. Like number 4 doesn't qualify. That's why I think it's difficult. World Cup is in November, by the way, and it will be in India, likely Goa. Pragg played blunder move, nahi blunder nahi hai bhai. It's a slight inaccuracy, and it's the idea is to complicate the position, yeah, to get a win. I think Pragg is aiming for a win there. Karthikeyan, Pranesh, Pranav, again, very difficult because they have to really defeat Caruana, they have to defeat Hikaru, Arjun, Pragg, like they have to defeat all these guys in classical events. I think online event they can do it, but classical it's difficult. Other 5 foreign players, Pusha Asim bhai. I think Nodirbek, Caruana qualified already, Hikaru, Nepo, and one complete, like either Anish slash who's a youngster who's coming up? I think, could it be Hans Niemann, by the way? I would not be shocked. Yeah, he's playing very well. I think Anish slash Hans Niemann slash Fedosiv. इन तीनों में से I think एक बंदा qualify करेगा मुझे लग रहा है. Hands in the candidates would be crazy, by the way. Yeah? That would be insane. Vinesh Shah, yes, Sahaj Bhai couldn't join for this event, yeah, because he even last moment planned tha, and we were not sure if we could stream this event or not. Lots of issues there, tech issues, confirmation issues. So we couldn't get him, and he's also playing an event himself. So we couldn't get him for this event. He'll be back for the next one. 21 ranked titles, that's amazing, bhai. Thoughts on Pranav being in Masters, but Leon in Challengers? I think Pranav in Masters because he won the last event, right? I think that's why. But the knight A3 played. So that is the best move by White. So great move, defends the bishop, develops a piece, and of course, now Arjun has to be on point. I think Rook F8 is the most obvious move. Meeting one ka threat hai, let's do it. And Jaisi Bishop E3 aega, you play Rook B8 and you grab the pawn on B2 and you basically start attacking. And chat, the main point is, why is White completely busted? It's because he's playing a rook down. अगर ये rook यहाँ होता, the game would be completely different. Just this rook being out of play means that Arjun is completely winning. So that's why I think he has absolutely no chance, and Arjun has both rooks in play and he will just crush White here. Agar ye rook yahan hota ya king yahan hota, rook yahan hota, I think White would be absolutely fine, if not better. So एक rook की placement से कितना फर्क पड़ सकता है यार? Nodirbek, yeah, Nodirbek, of course. I think Nodirbek, मैंने बोला नहीं क्या? Nodirbek, Nepo, Hikaru, Caruana, and then one among like Anish slash Param slash Anish slash Fedosiv slash Hans. Come on, come on, come on. By the way, Arjun's still thinking. I like this approach though. Like he's not hurrying with anything because कई बार ना हम लोगों को होता है if somebody falls in our prep, like imagine you have scholars milk on the board and opponent ने miss कर दिया, you would hurry instantly, like instant मार दोगे, अगर आप भूल जाओगे भाई opponent का knight h6 के ऊपर है and queen मर रही है. So I like this that Arjun is taking his time. He knows कि भाई घर जल्दी जाके extra point नहीं मिलना है. Let me be very precise, focus. Of course, he's yawning as well, but you get the point. I think he's taking the right approach there. I don't think मुझे लगता नहीं Firouzja qualify करेगा. That's my guess. That's my guess. Firouzja, by the way, has never played well at the candidates. 2022, those are, I think, कब हुआ 23 में हुआ था नहीं. I think 3 candidates he has played, right? 24 खेला है, 22 खेला है, शायद 21 से 23. I don't know whichever it was, but he has never played well at the candidates. So मेरे हिसाब से like maybe there'll be some lack of motivation. That's my guess. And he also doesn't play as many events. He plays quite less. So I think his chances बहुत कम रहेंगे. He will also have to qualify via Grand Swiss / World Cup. So it's not going to be easy. He did qualify last time via Grand Swiss, but stole it with it. So I'm not sure. Caruana, Arjun, Pragg, Aravindh, VD, Nakaba, Nepo, Wesley, Hari, Anish. Bhai, 8 ही player है भाई. So you will have to remove 2 players from that list. Daniel Dubois, very unlikely he makes to the candidates, Shiva bhai. Not gonna happen. Again, same as Firuza, doesn't play as much, is not as much in form nowadays. Prefers, I think, rapid and online events. ऐसा मुझे लगता है at least. Kaimer, by the way, is an important one. Yeah, Kaimer could qualify. I think that's for sure because he already has played a world championship cycle, like as a second for Gokesh. So I do think Kaimer definitely can do that. He is not qualified. Carlos is not qualified yet. By the way, Yakubu की शक्ल देखो भाई, आंखें कैसे देख, स्टेयर कैसे अर्जुन को कर रही थी. Can you see the stare? I hope you can see the stare, by the way. Like he cannot believe what just happened. I can see that stare straight at Arjun, by the way, right now, not blinking. भाई अगर स्टेयर चैलेंज करोगे तो भाई Yakubu would be like the goat of stair challenges भाई. Zero moving. I think Nodirbek has like Nodirbek नाम में ही I think कुछ स्टेयर का वो हिम्मत है भाई. Even the other Nodirbek has that staring idea, right? He does it constantly. So you can see Yakubu is just staring at Arjun. कौन सा चैनल पढ़ रहे हो भाई? जॉन भाई Chess24 India पढ़ रहे हैं. Magnus, by the way, will not play the candidates. If he does, he can directly qualify via rating. By the chat, no updates in the Arvind Pragg game so far, so we'll stick here. And Param, by the way, wondering कि कैसे हम लोग white के pieces छुपा दे, पता ना लगे कि भाई white हार रहा है, but of course white हार रहा है. And yeah. Ding has not qualified. They changed the rule Phoenix by if there's no camera, Nodirbek would have. No, I don't think that's the case. I think it's psychological play. Remember, chat. जब cricket में sledging होती है, you walk up to a batsman and kind of, I say, tempt him to hit you on the next ball. I think basically staring works like that. Like it's kind of within the rules. Of course, people don't appreciate it usually. Like it feels like a charged thing to do. But it's pretty normal. You can see again, there was a subtle stare there. So it's pretty normal. I've had people stare at me, and after the game, they were very friendly. So it's just a psychological play. Come on. Arjun bhai, Rook Fe8 or Rook A B8. Both moves are incredibly strong. Now, if you take the knight, by the way, knight C1, Rook C1, you can see the bar go up. That's not the best way to play because you're giving up a very, very good knight for a bad bishop. White ka Rook game mein aa gaya. So why do you want White's Rook to come into the game? Let it be stuck on A1. उसको पैसिव रहने दो. And bishop जब भी develop होगा, I will take the B2 pawn with the rook and activate my rook as well. So let White develop the bishop. उसका नुकसान भी है उसमें. So that's why you want to play Rook F8 or Rook B8 and not take on C1 and allow White to develop that rook on A1. Because if White can bring this rook to D1, then if he plays, I don't know, King G1, ST, King H2 and rook here, I think White is fine. White is absolutely fine. So it's not a long-term advantage. It's a very specific advantage. Arjun has to take advantage of it right now. So I'll be honest, if Magnus wins World Championship, खेलेंगे, तो who will be the favorite? Magnus or Gukesh? Magnus. There is no doubt. Even Gukesh will tell you that, by the way. Carlsen, even though he lost to Gukesh, I think he's still the strongest player in the world right now. And that too by not like a very, very tiny distance. So I think Gukesh winning against Carlsen definitely showed that Carlsen maybe is not at his peak now, because Carlsen would never lose a winning game like that, but he's still the strongest player in the world by far. So Carlsen played pretty well in the event, yeah, apart from that Gukesh game. So I think Carlsen still a clear favorite. In fact, Magnus mentioned, yeah, if Fabi qualified, Hikaru qualified, even Nepo qualified, even they might be favorite against Gukesh in a match. Now, I might not agree with that purely because they have, like, Fabi might be, because Fabi has played a World Championship match before. Nepo, I think, has suffered in World Championship matches, and of course, Hikaru has never played one. So, Fabi for sure, but I'm not sure about Nepo and Hikaru there. But anyway, I think Magnus, of course, we have trust his predictions there. He's pretty precise. And as of now, Arjun also has to be pretty precise. What about final in Lucknow? भाई लखनऊ में नहीं होगा भाई. नवाबों का शहर है, बट मे बी नवाबों को थोड़ी ठंड नहीं चाहिए यार, विंटर में थोड़ा गर्मी चाहिए जहाँ पे दे कैन रोम अराउंड. भाई नॉर्थ में बहुत ठंडी होती है नवंबर में यार. इफ यू रिमेंबर, नवंबर इज नॉट दैट कोल्ड ऑफ कोर्स, बट इट्स स्टिल कोल्ड. Vincent Caruana, Pragg, Hikaru, Nepo, Fedossi, Arjun, Nodirbek. That is totally possible. That's a viable list of 8 candidates. Barman Bhai, totally possible. Max Nepo is a favorite case that he'll be. So I don't think he's like out of his. I think it will be a close match. Like Nepo kya hai na? Nepo is quite fast. And Gukesh, as we know, suffers on his clock, right? So when he's under time pressure, Gukesh suffers. He did not show that in this event, but previously he has done that. So Nepo plays quite quickly. So if Gukesh can outplay Nepo in the middle game, then Gukesh will win. If he doesn't do that, then maybe Nepo has advantage. So it is possible that Nepo wins, but I don't think Nepo is a clear favorite though. टिकी चुप हो जा भाई तो कौन बोलेगा भाई इकलौता कमेंटेटर हूं मैं भी चुप हो जाऊंगा तो कौन बोलेगा पिंक भाई और ये हल्क पिंक क्यों ग्रीन होता है भाई Why is Arjun not playing? Why he's precisely calculating everything. He has to be sure. Even a slight error here could mean, giving up a winning advantage. He knows कि भाई completely winning position hai. So let me play it safe. Let me play it slow. Let me not hurry and quickly play something unless I'm absolutely sure. And he will, of course, come up with one of the best moves. I think he will find Rook a b8 or Rook f8. Magnus prediction are precise. I mean, I would say I think Tanya asked him a great question. I don't know if you saw that video chat jahan pe Tanya asked ki, who do you think is the next youngster, right? Who could potentially dominate in the chess world like you did. And Carlson brutally says no one. I mean, he's brutally honest and I like that about Carlson and he's correct. Right now, we don't see a player who could be the GOAT. We see signs of it, but right now there's no player who's the future GOAT. Maybe Gukesh in a year from now, maybe Pragg or Arjun in a year from now. But as of now, there is no contender to Magnus. Magnus is the strongest player by far. कोई कह रहा है knight c1, rook c1, queen d3. Now it looks very active. King e1 पे rook e8 is made, but king g1 bhai. I will go to g1 and now you can see the bar is almost equal. जैसा मैंने कहा एक बार ये rook game में आ गया, black will be the one struggling for a draw. अगर ये rook f1 पे होता ना, Arjun is lost maybe actually. So let's be very careful about how we play this chess game. We want to be careful and we cannot allow the king to step out and simply allow the rook into the game. So be very precise. He's not playing Gunbai because he wants to be sure. He wants to avoid a situation. Knight c1, rook c1, queen d3, king g1. This is exactly what he's calculating and realizing it doesn't work. If Arjun, by the way, a coin has two sides. Arjun is winning from the opening itself. If he wins this, it gives him immense confidence. But if he somehow botches this up, it's going to really spoil his entire event. You cannot come back from that psychologically for the next few games. So that's why I think it's important. By the way, Chad, let's have Arvind against Pragg. By the way, very interesting. Look at this. Castles khela Pragg ne, bishop e3, bishop b4 by Pragg. The idea is takes and takes on e4. So we saw knight e2, but Arvind plays knight to a2. Pragg goes back. So if Arvind plays knight c3, we would have repeated the game once. So question for you, chat. Will we see a repetition? Yes or no? I think it will be pretty fair. The game is equal, but do you think both sides will go for a repetition? Yes or no, chat? What do you think? Magnus is part of Arjun's team. I don't think so, yaar. The only reason why Magnus doesn't play the World Championship, the main reason is the preparation part. By wo opening ratna, ye karna, wo karna, it takes months. And if he had to do it, he would do it for himself, not for Arjun's team, I think. So Magnus definitely not part of Arjun's team. Or any team. So yes, keh rahe hain, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, yes, no, yes, no. So completely divided chat. So let's see what happens. A draw will be fair for both players. I think Arvind will maintain his world number 12 rank. Pragg still will be world number 6. And I think draw is a fair result. But of course, Arvind right now has to choose. He can play b4 and continue the game. So very interesting moment. I think Arvind will have a think because this is the moment jahan pe he needs to take that critical choice. I think ek baar to repeat kar hi sakte ho. I think usually it's a good strategy to repeat once and see what your opponent changes. Will after knight c3, Pragg suddenly play rook e8? That's also an important moment, right? So I think knight c3 back would not necessarily mean that Arvind is going for a draw. It might just mean that he test kar raha hai Pragg ko ki Pragg kya khelne wala hai. The future is not classical chess, rapid and blitz. I agree with you. Vittal bhai, I absolutely agree, but we are not there yet. So as we see, cricket ka comparison karo, of course T20 World Cup matters, the World Test, championship, but kahin na kahin pe one day cricket matters the most. Oh, no draw from Arvind. Arvind says, bhai, ghanta draw. He refuses the repetition. That's a bold statement from Arvind Chidambaram. I must say, I am impressed by that decision. Yeah, not even repeating once. Wow. That is really bold. Arvind OP in the chat. Yeah. So Pragg might be thinking ki bhai chat draw hone wala hai, but no draw. And now the bishop has to drop back to b6, and that's what Pragg does. And now the knight will come to c3, and there is no bishop a5 attacking the knight. So no draw, chat. No draw. We're in for a long battle here, and Arvind's still fighting for the win. Beautiful, yeah. Nice. That was amazing to see. Amazing chat. So that means ki the game will go on briefly. Let's go back to the game of Yakubu Arjun. Any moves? Have we seen something from Arjun? Nothing yet. Arjun still thinking. Luckily, he has also more time on the clock, so he can use that to come up with the best move. Chat, let's get to 500 likes. Pehla diamond membership challenge hoga wahan pe. Let's go to 500 likes kar do stream by. Let's go. There are many cricket world champions, but prestigious one is the ODI World Cup. Exactly why. And that's, I think, the angle here. He classical world championship ka jo world championship, that's the most prestigious. That's why you see ki, Magnus, knows, even he knows classical world championship सबसे prestigious है. That's a Ukesh ka, prize fund भी देख लो यार. A world rap का यार 1 crore prize fund होता है. But in the world championship classical one, the prize fund, the winning side alone gets like 10, 11 crore. So that tells you itself कि ज़्यादा prestigious क्या है. Ukesh World Cup खेलेगा? That's a good question. That's an amazing question, Shreyan bhai. And I'm going to put that question up to you, chat. Ki if you were Gukesh, you were the world champion, and you had the World Cup in India, would you play it? Would you play the World Cup in India knowing, first of all, you don't need to do it, okay? Because everybody is trying to challenge you, but it's in India and it's a great, like the strongest tournaments in the world. So there's huge incentive to win that. So would you, in Gukesh's shoes, play the World Cup? Yes or no? Because honestly, I would. I think if I was Gukesh, I would play it because it's in India. It's a great opportunity to learn and become stronger. Nope, yes, nope, yes. India में aura दिखाना है भाई, बिल्कुल सही बोला. I agree. I think he should play that. He should play that. If he wins, of course, that will be a statement. Yeah, कि भाई कौन कह रहा था कि हम गोट नहीं है. Arjun, by the way, still calculating chat. We've looked at the variations. Rook f8, I think, is the best, the cleanest move. Yeah, simple threat, mate in one. And white key. Basically, if you're forcing your opponent's moves, it gives you more clarity in your decisions. If white ke paas ab ek hi option hai, bishop e3, then it's very to predict next move meri kya hogi. So checks captures threats. And yahan pe, this is a big threat, yeah, mate in one. Why not? He's 19. The thing is, if let's say he plays the World Cup, gets knocked out in round 2, for example, it will not have a good taste in his mouth later. But of course, even Magnus, as world champion, has played the World Cup and he got knocked out in round 3. So it has happened even for Magnus. So I don't think it's a big deal. Even if he gets knocked out early, he should play the World Cup. Arvind lost there is something, 9 points. Hope Hilton's top 10. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, पता क्या होता है? Manjul bhai, basically क्या होता है ना? You are equal in a position against a 23, you are unable to find a win, and then you kind of overpush. And mostly that overpushing works, but on that one day it just doesn't. वो बंदा अपनी life की best game खेल देता है, and yeah, that just means कि you lose. Tanya said, okay, I don't think she said that. Yeah, I really doubt she said that. I really doubt that, by because chat, I don't think you saw the global broadcast when Gukesh defeated Magnus. अगर तुमने देखा होगा, in their commentary panel, they were on site, right, in the studio. Tanya was the only one who got up. She was super excited about, the most excited. So I don't think she would have said that, मेरे हिसाब से. Marketing of the event with Goki playing will be enormous too. Exactly. And marketing is, of course, not Gukesh's headache, right? He will played basis his kind of priorities, but he should play, I think. By the way, knight a3, this is the current situation right now. क्या होगा यहाँ पे? Rook e8, rook a b8. Again, we want to get the rook to b2, get the rook to e1, and not allow white to develop. By the way, also, let's say you play a normal move. We saw knight c1. We saw rook b8. We saw this. Let's say you play a normal move, a passing the pass. Let's say मैंने खेला h6. Look at the bar. एक गलत move and it's equal. It's close to equal now. So you cannot go wrong, and that's why you see Arjun thinking. You have to be precise. You have to be precise. It's not a long-term advantage. It's not a material advantage. In fact, it's a material disadvantage right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns versus 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to play rook e8 or rook b8. Thoughts on Anish Nepo controversy? Baap re, asking the real questions. It was a bit surprising to see Anish angry. Usually he's never angry. Yeah? He's very soft natured, but of course, I think it was pretty fair. You want to see the score on top. And of course, like heat of the moment, a lot of stuff happens, but I think the score should have been there. There's no doubt the score should have been up there, taki he can see what's happening. And Baki, I think, of course. And of course, there was another controversy about the team coming late. Now, what was the reason for the team to come late? I don't know. So until we know the reason, it's hard to speculate. Yeah. Who is signaling Arjun? What does that mean by? Can Arjun qualify after winning this event? I think Arjun ke liye thoda mushkil hai because he can qualify if he wins the event because his rating will go up. But via the FIDE circuit, it's more difficult because Pragg is leading that circuit right now. So he can do it, but he has to gain rating for that. And he has to cross Hikaru somehow. Chad, एक काम करते हैं. Let's do a challenge. अभी 384 likes है. And अगर अगले 2 मिनट में till 5:21 the clock hits, ठीक है? If we reach 600 likes, तो एक बंदे को हम 1 महीने की नहीं, हम 3 महीने की मेंबरशिप देंगे भाई. So let's go. You have exactly 2 minutes now. 5:21 से पहले you have to reach 600 likes. Can we do it, Chad? We have 1000 watching. We can do it. Come on, Chad. एक बंदे का लिए 3 महीने की मेंबरशिप मिल जाएगी. Let's go. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1 now. Now पे hit करना. 3, 2, 1 and now. Let's go bye. Video freeze nahi hai bhai. We can see Yakubov's head shaking. We can see the person behind getting up from his seat. The video definitely not frozen. Crossing Karu impossible unless Hikaru loses some points. No, I think 2-8, it is possible, yaar. Arjun did do it once, Arijit. If you remember, Arjun's peak live rating is 2809. And that's exactly what he needs right now. That will work. Pragg is almost locked in. Exactly, CV. That's the point, right? So Pragg, if he wins this event, he actually locks it even more. So बहुत important है उसके लिए ये event करना. World Cup. Oh, Naresh bhai, what's up? How's Canada, भाई? नवंबर में World Cup इंडिया में. Come on, come on. And he has played what? Oh, look at it. Thank God. भाई मेरे को रुक एट पे दिखा रही, मैं कांप गया, मैंने कुछ और खेल दिया उसने भाई. He does play the best move. अर्जुन भाई क्या बनता है यार, गलती नहीं करता है भाई. द वे यार 99.6 एक्यूरेसी से खेल रहा बंदा भाई, क्रेजी बंदा है भाई. Beautiful game. And chat accuracy wise, just to compare, Arjun is 99.6 and his opponent is 988.6. So it's a huge difference right now and Arjun is cruising. By the way, 1 मिनट 600 लाइक मुश्किल लग रहा है. 100 लाइक से छूट जाओगे यार, पर ठीक है, 1 महीने की हमेशा तो मिल ही जाएगी, इवन इफ यू मिस द टारगेट. वेलकम बैक जितेंद्र भाई. क्रेजी, थैंक यू भाई. क्रेजी सीन्स है भाई, बिकॉज एक और नया टूर्नामेंट आ चुका है एंड इंडिया के टॉप 4 में से 3 प्लेयर खेल रहे हैं. अर्जुन इज प्लेइंग, प्रग इज प्लेइंग, अरविंद इज प्लेइंग. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी एन एक्साइटिंग इवेंट टू वॉच, बिकॉज यहाँ पे ना इंडियन प्लेयर्स कैन डोमिनेट. नॉर्वे में कार्लसन था तो इट वॉज डिफिकल्ट. यहाँ पे दे कैन फिनिश टॉप 3 एंड they can basically confirm their candidate spot. If Arjun crosses Hikaru in ratings, he confirms his spot. If Pragg kind of wins this event, he kind of confirms his spot via the FIDE circuit. So यहाँ पे candidates के spot के लिए खेल रहे हैं लोग literally. संभालो टिक्कू भाई. अरे यार यहाँ पे संभालना नहीं भाई, यहाँ पे you have to let loose. जैसे Arjun has let loose his pieces on the white king and mate in one का threat है by the way. Mate in one threat incoming. Rook e1 mate. G3 खेलोगे तो queen h3 is mate in 2. You can't do that. So how do you save mate? I think bishop e3 is the move chat. He has to play it. Bishop b2 भी खेल सकते हो, but after rook a b8, I will grab the pawn and the bishop will be hanging. So I think bishop e3 is the best move for white. टिक्को भाई लगता है चश्मा नहीं लगाया, लगाया है भाई, बिल्कुल लगाया है भाई. Arvind, by the way, walking there. Arvind looks like a actor, yeah, Bollywood actor right now. ऐसे वो मस्त वो स्टाइल में घूम रहा है. Come on, come on, come on. I think the black horse. It is possible, yeah. देखो, it is totally possible कि Arvind qualifies, but I think we're dealing in probabilities. So Arvind के लिए दो ही option है. Grand Swiss and World Cup. और कोई option नहीं. Arjun has a rating spot extra, what he can qualify via. And Ubasi dikh raha hai ki he's a bit more relaxed. And also, Pragg has the FIDE circuit spot, right? So I think they have a higher chance, right? And by the way, look at this. Bishop e3 second में खेल दिया भाई बंदे ने rook a b8. And by the way, again the best move. Again the best move. 99.7 accuracy for Arjun now. 9 games, by the way, 9 games in the event chat. And if Pragg wins this, I think he basically almost guarantees his spot in the candidates. And if Arjun wins a few rating points, he can also kind of become close to getting the rating spot for the candidates. So, candidates दाव पे हो सकता है. Hey, is it Abbasov? तभी सहाज भाई नहीं आए. Oh, Sahaj bhai. Now you know where Sahaj bhai is. भाई, Abbasov खेल रहा मुझे पता ही नहीं था. Oh, now I know. Oh, अच्छा 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 अच्छा. साइड हसल चल रही है साहज भाई की अभी. Pragg game, by the way, not much has happened, Chad. I think this is the position we left it in. I think we saw b4, bishop b6. Nepo, by the way, covering up the board. Knight c3 वापस आया. Rook e attacking the pawn. Queen f3 defending the pawn. Bishop d7. Rook e1 and pawn to a5. So feels like roughly balanced and time भी थोड़ा equalize होने लगा है. So Pragg gradually kind of coming back in the game. So anybody किसी को Nepo का haircut pass देखना था दिख रहा है. But now we see there Pragg thinking it's his move. 17 moves हो चुके हैं. So 23 moves to the time control. By the way, 98.8 accuracy both by Arvind and Pragg. So high quality game so far. Going back to the Arjun game now. When next candidate is going to happen? I think this will happen in April 2026. So अभी 7 spot खाली है. So देखते हैं कौन qualify करेगा. Nodirbek underrated क्यों? Underrated नहीं है. I think it's pretty fairly rated. I think he's as strong as the Indian youngsters and उनके आसपास घूमता रहता है. Like rating wise. टिक्को टिक्की है, बिल्कुल खाएंगे भाई, भेज दो भाई. टिक्की चाट खाने में बड़ा मजा आता है. How many games in this tournament each? 9 games, 9 rounds chat. आज से लेके सीधा straight now 9 rounds, no rest days. And who knows? By the time this tournament ends, India number 1 कोई और होगा. वर्ल्ड नंबर 3 कोई और होगा. एंड कैंडिडेट्स के स्पॉट 1 या 2 फिक्स हो चुके होंगे. हु नोस. श्रियान, ग्रेट पॉइंट. आई डू अग्री. मुकेश का रैपिड गेम बहुत ज्यादा इंप्रूव हो चुका है. एब्सोल्युटली. हाउ ही प्लेड दैट टाई ब्रेकर, आई थिंक Armageddon, he defeated Wei or somebody, I remember. And how he played in time pressure in the classical phase. The 10-second increment, by the way, not even 30. Tells me his rapid play has drastically improved. And if he plays the World Rapid Blitz, we're going to see that in action. बॉबी फिशर गाइस फॉर बताओ. ओहो भाई, क्या सवाल पूछ दिया यार. किस चीज के लिए भाई? गोट के लिए कि किस चीज के लिए? एड्रेस बता टिक्को. नहीं भाई, एड्रेस मैं पब्लिकली शेयर नहीं कर सकता. वो आई थिंक यमन लेन यमन वाला आप भेज सकते हो. Is it possible to read Karu rating spot? It is, because Arjun is going to play a lot of events, so it is possible. And Arjun has reached that rating before. If he had never done it, I would say less chance, but he has done it. It is difficult, but possible. चैट बातें 500 लाइक हो चुके हैं, सो अगले 5 मिनट में कभी ना कभी हम करेंगे भाई डायमंड मेंबरशिप चैलेंज, एंड लाइक करते चलो बिकॉज 1000 लाइक पे एक और होगा. व्हाट्स रिलेशन वासव एंड साज भाई? बताओ चैट, या जिसको याद है वो बताएगा, चैट बताइए खुद ही. व्हाट्स द रिलेशनशिप? भाई तू गुजरात में है ये तो पक्का है. नहीं, गुजरात में नहीं हूं यार मैं. ये क्यों लगा आपको? आई थिंक इज नॉट फार अवे फ्रॉम मैग्नस. Um, I would say not far away, but not like super close either. Like I think अभी भी गुकेश और मैग्नस से 50 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस almost. That's a lot actually at the top level. So I would say some difference still, but it has reduced. It has definitely reduced. Pragg, if he wins today, does overtake Gukesh and Arjun. By the way, आप आरसीबी के सेलिब्रेशन से बच गए. भाई मैं घर पे सेलिब्रेट करता हूँ, मैं उस टाइम लाइव स्ट्रीम पे था, सो बच गया भाई. आर यू अ फ्रेंड ऑफ सागा? आई डोंट नो यार, फ्रेंड लाइक ऐसे चडी बड़ी तो नहीं है, बट फॉर श्योर आई थिंक वी आई हैव इंटरेक्टेड सागा भाई मल्टीपल टाइम्स. कॉर्डियल रिलेशनशिप से मस्त है. व्हाट इज नोदिरबेक्स एक्यूरेसी? नोदिरबेक्स एक्यूरेसी 89 एंड अर्जुन की 99.7. बाप रे, 10 पॉइंट्स गनोस 11 रेटिंग वो एक्यूरेसी आ गया है भाई. यार चैट, आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन फॉर यू, ठीक है? यू आर अ टॉप प्लेयर, इमेजिन करो, आई नो डिफिकल्ट है बट इमेजिन करो, ठीक है? कोई ड्रेस कोड नहीं है. लाइक इट्स नॉट अ वर्ल्ड ट्रैवल प्लेस जहां पे तुम्हें जीन्स के लिए घर भेज देंगे. व्हाट वुड यू वेयर? वुड यू वेयर अ सूट जैसे यू कैन सी अरविंद, अर्जुन, प्रग प्ले वेयर, और वुड यू वेयर लाइक यू नो ऐसे स्वेट शर्ट, और ऐसे मैग्नस पहनता है जीन्स? व्हाट वुड यू वेयर? लाइक आई वुड फील मोर कंफर्टेबल इन अ स्वेट शर्ट मे बी. लाइक ऐसा मेरा मानना है, बट ऑफ कोर्स लाइक यू वांट टू बी अ प्रोफेशनल प्लेयर, यू वांट टू वेयर स्टफ. लाइक व्हाट वुड यू वेयर इन दैट सिचुएशन? आई डोंट नो. मेरा भी नाम ले लो यार. शेरवानी तो नहीं यार, शादी थोड़ी करनी है. शादी तो मैंने करनी है भाई, प्लेयर्स ने नहीं. व्हाई आर यू नॉट मैरिड? आपने बोल दिया रियान भाई तो कर लेंगे, डोंट वरी. कुर्ता पजामा, हाँ दैट्स अ नाइस वन. शॉर्ट्स एंड स्वेट शर्ट, भाई दैट्स अ वियर्ड कॉम्बिनेशन. ठंड लग रही है, गर्मी लग रही है, समझ नहीं आ रहा है. जीन्स, yeah, I think jeans probably is, I think maybe sweat like proper like ऐसे just slacks type नीचे and then t-shirt would be pretty cool. But of course like once you're a professional player like you should dress up. I think Bobby Fischer ने कहा था, कहता है ना, dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. So that's why I'm always in shorts. I mean that's why players are always in suit. शादी की लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग होगी? नहीं भाई, हर चीज लाइव नहीं होनी चाहिए जिंदगी में. सम थिंग्स आर बेटर प्राइवेट. लड़की कौन देगा भाई? वो ढूंढ लूंगा यार. भाई ये बंदा गुस्से में क्यों है जो गया अभी? मतलब अर्जुन स्टिल कंप्लीटिंग इज 10,000 स्टेप्स. रुकना नहीं चाहिए भाई. देखो अर्जुन का मैं फैन हो गया भाई. कई बार जब स्ट्रीम कर चलो, व्हेन आई एम स्ट्रीमिंग तो स्ट्रीम टेक्स अप अ लॉन्ग टाइम, राइट? सो आई एम अनएबल टू कंप्लीट माई 10,000 स्टेप्स. तो अर्जुन इज ह्यूज मोटिवेशन. कुछ भी हो जाए भाई, स्टेप्स चलने चाहिए. लाइक मैं भी कंसिडर कर रहा हूँ एक पोर्टेबल माइक लाने का, ताकि मैं भी चलते चलते कमेंट्री कर सकूं भाई. तुम्हें क्या पता मैं भी बैठा हुआ या खड़ा हुआ हूं, तो आई कैन आल्सो डू लाइक ऐसे पोर्टेबल कमेंट्री भाई, चलते अपने 10,000 स्टेप्स पूरे करने हैं भाई. दैट्स ग्रेट. शक्ल एक बार शक्ल दिखा दो मेरी भाई, एक बार दिखाई दो भाई लोगों. मैं यहीं बैठा हूँ, कुर्सी है भाई, यहीं पे हूँ मैं, कहीं गया नहीं हूँ. By the way, White now has 30 minutes. So it's very obvious कि he understands कि what's happening. Next, it's also obvious कि he's not seeing a move that defends him. Third, the fact that Arjun played these two moves quickly once he calculated means कि उसने आगे भी देखा हुआ है. So Rook takes B2 incoming next. And it just means कि it's white. And now White क्या option है? Queen A7 या Queen F3. क्वीन F3 पे उसको पता है कि भाई रुक B2 आने वाला है, एंड आई कैनॉट कैसल. लेट्स से आई प्ले G3 ट्राइंग टू कम हियर. चैट, ब्लैक टू प्ले what is the best move? Let's say मैंने खेला queen f3 best move, you take rook b2 best move, and now I play g3. I want to get the king to g2. What is the best move? Other queen f3 played. This might happen, chat. This might happen. Batman suit. Wow. So come on, chat. What do you think is the best move for Arjun? So queen f3 on the board. Arjun will play rook b2, the best move. And let's say white says, मैंने खेला g3, मुझे king g2 खेलना है. What is the best move for Arjun? कौन निकालेगा भाई? Sindarov is playing, by the way. Yes, Sparsh bhai, you are absolutely correct. It is rook takes c3. And that's a brilliance. अभी दिखा नहीं रहा है, but it is a brilliancy actually. Beautiful move. Idea है कि if you take with the, let's say with the pawn first, there is knight to e5 attacking the queen. Queen h3 check आ रहा है, queen d3 check आ रहा है. You cannot avoid both. It is game over. For example, मैंने queen खेला कहीं पे, queen e4 खेला, तो queen d2, it is mate. And if I play queen h5, then queen d3 check and it will be mate soon. So regardless, and if you take with the queen now, then there is rook takes f2 check. Of course, king g1, and now queen to d5. And it is over. आपको कुरानी देनी पड़ेगी. Knight takes, king takes, queen d2 check, king, I don't know, f1, queen c3, and it is game over. Knight मर रहा है, rook मर रहा है. You cannot save both. So Arjun is completely winning. Let's see what happens as of now. Rook takes b2 is the best move for Erigaisi Arjun. So question for you, chat. Will Arjun find rook takes b2? Yes or no? Come on, chat. अर्जुन की आंखों में मुझे rook takes b2 दिख रहा है भाई. There it is, chat. Rook takes b2 played. He has taken the pawn, and now g3 is losing on the spot. And white ki ab chat, as white, what should you play? I think rook d1 probably is a decent move because you pin the knight. I think that should be white's choice. You do not have time to move the king yet. A king g1 खेलते हो, I think there is knight e5. And that's very scary apparently because queen अंदर घुस रही है. And the queen has to move, doesn't have any decent squares. Queen e2 पे hanging है, g4 पे hanging है. Queen h5 खेलोगे तो then I have knight g4 ideas. This is all blowing open. So I think rook d1 maybe is a decent move for white. But a2 pawn भी देना पड़ेगा. So I'm not sure if white will play it. There was knight b2, by the way, chat, in that move. So rook b2 was not the obvious move. But yeah, the most logical one though. And now, by the way, look at the clock. भाई हमें स्ट्रीम करते हुए 2 घंटे भी नहीं हुए, ओपोनेंट के पास 29 मिनट है. भाई he is using up a lot of time. Who all have qualified candidates? Only Fabiano Caruana so far. Chat, let's get 1000 likes and chat. मैं पहला membership challenge करने वाला हूं अगले 5 मिनट में. Let me know when you are ready. अभी कम लोग हैं chat में तो आराम से हो पाएगा, कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं है. We can figure out the winner from the chat directly. हमें एक्चुअली क्या करे भाई, मैंने 2-3 वो मखना खाया था भाई, 2-3 पीसेस के. यार भूख लग रही है यार. एक्चुअली हम दिन को स्ट्रीम करने की आदत भी नहीं है यार. दिस इवेंट वाज सपोज्ड टू स्टार्ट एट 2:30 PM और 3:30 हो गया. ओह, एडू लर्न, आई रिमेंबर दिस नेम. बहुत पुराना साल भाई. अब वही हो गया जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ. 4-5 अकेले कैसे बोल लेते हो? बस भाई ट्रेनिंग है. ऑल तो मुझे अब आदत नहीं है उतनी, बीइंग ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज आई एम मोर यूज्ड टू कमेंटेटिंग विद सहज भाई और राकेश भाई नाउ. सो इट्स बट आई हैव स्ट्रीम्ड लाइक, आई स्ट्रीम लाइक 8 hours अलोन. तो पहले की थोड़ी आदत छूट गई है, बट बन जाएगी इस टूर्नामेंट में फिर से. तभी थोड़ा गला बचा के रहना पड़ता है भाई. थोड़ा धीरे, थोड़ा स्लो. समटाइम्स स्लो इज बेटर. रेडी हो? बढ़िया. सो पहला सवाल फॉर द फर्स्ट चेसकॉम डायमंड मेंबरशिप टुडे, ये रहा आपके फोन के स्क्रीन पर. आ रहा है थोड़ा टेक थोड़ा स्लो है, आ रहा है भाई। नहीं नहीं, वी कैन गो फुल स्क्रीन नहीं भाई, इट्स ओके। कोई चक्कर नहीं है। हाँ, आ रहा है, बहुत जल्दी आ रहा है स्क्रीन पे, आ रहा है, आ रहा है, आ रहा है, स्लोली आ रहा है। आ रहा है, 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 बस आ रहा है, आ गया भाई, आ गया, बस आ गया, रुको। कंफर्म कर रहा हूँ आंसर। ओके। ओके, कंफर्म नहीं, कंफर्म कर दो, कंफर्म कर दो। ओके, 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 ओके। हाँ, द क्वेश्चन इज, वर्ल्ड टॉप 100 प्लेयर्स में, इन द वर्ल्ड, लाइव रेटिंग्स में अभी कितने इंडियन प्लेयर्स हैं? द नंबर फॉलोड बाय अ चेसकॉम यूजर नेम। जो खाली लिखेगा नंबर, ही विल नॉट काउंट। कितने इंडियन प्लेयर्स हैं वर्ल्ड टॉप 100 में अभी, इन द लाइव रेटिंग्स? यूजर आईडी के साथ, इट विल नॉट काउंट अदरवाइज। एक बंदे ने करेक्ट आंसर लिखा है, बट देर इज नो, आई सी नो आईडी, आई सी नो आईडी भाई। यस, रोहन खन्ना भाई, you are absolutely correct. It is 11 people. If somebody wants to confirm this, you can confirm this, but it is correct. So number, कौन कौन से players है वो? One is Arjun, Pragg, Arvind, Gukesh, Vishi, Vidit, Hari Krishna, Nihal, Ronak. Then it is Karthik and Murli. Then it is Ayumanyu Puranik. So कितने? 11 हो गए, 11 प्लेयर्स। रोहन भाई, यू हैव द फर्स्ट करेक्ट आंसर भाई। सो पहली एमएच मिलती है रौनक भाई को, अगली एमएच होगी 1000 लाइक्स के ऊपर, तो भाई स्ट्रीम लाइक करते चलो। नेक्स्ट वाला आई थिंक विल मेक इट अबाउट द गेम। आई थिंक दैट विल बी मोर फन। या रोहन भाई, आपको एमएच मिल चुकी है, यू कैन चेक इट, दैट इज डन। सो अगला क्वेश्चन भी आएगा 1000 लाइक पे। एसलैंड अभी नहीं है टॉप 100 में। ओके, सो भाई गेम ऐसी खेलो कि बगल वाले भी आपकी गेम देखे। बाय द वे, नाइट C4 प्लेड, सो दैट्स वन ऑफ द गुड मूव्स इन दिस पोजीशन। आपने रुक को अटैक किया, एंड नाउ चैट, ब्लैक हैज टू ऑप्शंस। सो वन ऑप्शन इज द बेस्ट मूव, रुक C2, ठीक है, दिस इज द नॉर्मल मूव। एंड द आइडिया इज कि अगर आप दोबारा अटैक करोगे मेरा रुक, आई विल सिंपली टेक द पॉन, एंड आपको कुछ मिला नहीं, ठीक है। बट देयर इज अ क्रेजी ऑप्शन हियर चैट, which is also winning for Arjun if he plays it. So can you find the other option for Arjun? So Rook C2 is one move. There is another one. What is the alternative move for Erigaisi Arjun to win the game? Come on, chat, let's go. Come on, chat, let's go. If five is the candidates, can he beat Gukesh? Yes, he can. Even though मेरा नाम साहिल है भाई, सागर नहीं है, but yes, he can भाई। अनीश गिरी ऑल्सो भाई, अनीश गिरी आधा इंडियन है, तो 11.5 राउंड ऑफ होगा तो 11 ही होगा। यस पॉन भाई, यू आर एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। बिशप के अगेंस्ट साजिश रचते हुए पॉन भाई, रुक E3 इज इंडीड द मूव। एंड आफ्टर नाइट टेक्स E3, रुक F2 चेक, क्वीन F2, नाइट F2, किंग F2, एंड नाउ क्वीन D2 चेक। किंग को ऊपर आना पड़ेगा, एंड नाउ यू कैन टेक ऑन C3, एंड इवन दिस is winning for Arjun. Now this is a bit more complex because यहाँ पे अब now my pieces come into the game. For example, rook a d1, rook h e1. For example, bishop d4 खेलोगे तो rook h e1, and this will take some time to win because यहाँ पे white के piece सारे active हो गए, and if you take this will be a bad move, and suddenly the game is equal. So you have to be very precise. At some point h5, some point c5, just to keep the bishop here. King को थोड़ा open. King वापस चला गया. This might even be a draw. So if Arjun goes for this, it is winning, but he has to be very, very precise. But like it's a simple way to win. So I think Arjun might just do this. Because rook C2 mein kya hai? It's let's say rook knight C4, rook C2. It's a little less clear, right? So what is your next move? Let's say I play a move like rook to d1. What's your next move? For example, yahan the best move for black is queen a4, which to me is not obvious. It's not obvious to me at all. Why would you play queen a4? I know there's some pressure here and so on, but and you attack the knight as well, but it's not a logical move. Like, it's not something that comes to mind instantly. So maybe the idea of just playing rook takes e3, knight takes and rook f2 is the best idea. And knight से मारना जरूरी है. Queen से मारते हो, rook f2 check. Now if you take, there is king f2 and simply queen to f5 check. King कहीं पे भी जाएगा, queen e4 check, knight e3 आना पड़ेगा, and now bishop h6 and I win the knights. This is just lost. So that's why अगर यहाँ पे knight c4 के बाद you have to kind of take, okay, rook e3, you have to take with the knight here, and then we go to the end game. So let's see क्या होता है. Important moment this one, a critical decision for Arjun. I thought ये game, याद है हमने डिस्कस कर कि 4 मूव में खत्म हो जाएगी. So white is putting on some pressure, some resistance, and कई बार काम भी करती है वो. Why not 95? So if you play 95, that's a mistake because I will just take it. You will take it with the bishop, and now my rook comes to d1. The queen has to move. I don't know कहाँ चलोगे queen को आप. I can give a few checks. Queen g4 check आ सकता है. I will play, maybe g3, king g2 at some point, or h3 or whatever. And I think I am back in the game. Do not forget, black king be weak hai. It's open. There is no g pawn. So that's why Arjun has to be very precise. Leon is world 87. Wait. Okay, we will check that later. Leon का नाम मैंने लिया नहीं, yeah? Did I miscalculate? That would be sad. Wait, I don't see Leon's name. Why is it not there? Wait, Leon's name is not there in top 100 by. I don't see it. Or is it? I don't see his name. Wait, what? Why is Leon's name? It should be, no? Why is his name not there? I don't know. कुछ तो सीन है भाई. I don't see his name. हाँ, not in top 100 ना, वही कह रहा हूँ. हाँ, he's not there. He's not there. वही मुझे लग रहा था. Okay, now Arjun's still thinking. I think knight c4 played on the board. What will happen is the question. So far, no updates. Come on, come on, Arjun bhai. We need some good moves here. 2-3 अच्छी के लिए तो जीत जाएंगे. आप देखते हो नहीं भाई. देखा भाई नहीं है भाई. 11 ही है भाई. So now Nodirbek, Yakubov still, struggling but hoping on for, some little mistake by Arjun here. But Arjun playing with an accuracy of 90, what, 90? 9.7. I don't think उनका मन है भाई यहाँ पे अपनी accuracy कम करने का. So I expect him to play, rook takes c3 and head off into that endgame where he is better. Why are you not a GM? अरे भाई अभी मैं भी बनाऊंगा वीडियो. Why I couldn't become a GM बनाता हूँ भाई. बहुत जल्दी बनाऊंगा भाई. Okay, Yakubov avoiding eye contact, although he loves staring. Abhi ke liye eye contact avoid karte hue. Arjun meanwhile still, but he never looks at the board. Look at him, yeah. So chat, let's have a look at Arjun right now. He's not looking at the board, and I don't remember him looking at. Okay, बढ़िया. Arjun not even looking at the board, by the way. Still not looking. Why so? लुकता ही नहीं, देखता नहीं board की तरफ. By the way, chat, we have a guest joining us. Guest क्या मतलब भाई? Regular guest is joining us. And Rakesh bhai, welcome to the stream.
Yo, hello, Sahil bhai, क्या चल रहा है? Arjun already winning.
भाई he has been winning for the past 1.5 hours. मेरे को लगा गेम कभी खत्म हो जाएगी, but हुई नहीं खत्म.
True, but I think yeah, what an opening display and completely winning शुरू से. And देखो भाई, मजा आ गया. What a start for Arjun here. And I was watching the commentary and आपने बोला था कि शायद एक प्लेयर का 2800 रेटिंग भी हो सकता है यहाँ पर.
बिल्कुल. And यहाँ पे candidate spot दाव पे, because Pragg leading the FIDE circuit, if he finishes number one, he could
Yeah.
potentially just seal his candidate spot. Arvind is the only contender who can challenge him, by the way, on that. So if Arvind wins, then he is kind of challenging Pragg ki bhai wo spot mera bhi ho sakta hai. So lot at stake, and not to forget, all Arjun has to do is cross 2807 and he will get that rating spot. Difficult hai, but he has crossed it before. So lot at stake, the rating spot, the FIDE circuit spot, India number one, world number three, बहुत कुछ stake पे भाई, candidates भी stake पे है.
Absolutely. And we have three Indians playing. पहले तो चार थे before Hari Krishna pulled out. But on that note, वो और एक match जो चल रहा है like between Pragg and Arvind. How
हाँ.
is that going to go?
I think एक मौका था यहाँ पे ड्रॉ लेने का for
Hmm.
Arvind. He rejected the draw offer. Knight c3, bishop b4 would have been a repetition, but he played
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
But the position still feels kind of very solid for either side. But if I had to choose a color, I might still choose white. Yeah, I have more space. Knight coming to f5 maybe, but still in the draw
Correct.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. White is better developed. अब देख सकते हो कि रुक आ गया है for white. रुक है d1, knight is on d4. And it just looks so much easier. And it's also, middle game stage, 40 minutes for Arvind. It's pleasant for
हाँ.
white. And I think एक देखो एक इंटेंशन भी दिखा है अरविंद ने इससे कि ही नोज प्राग उसका सबसे बड़ा कॉम्पिटिटर है फॉर द कैंडिडेट स्पॉट, और उसको पता है इसको हरा दूंगा तो मेरा काम इजी हो जाएगा. सो दैट इज व्हाई अरविंद पुटिंग प्रेशर ऑन हिज बेस्टी.
Great point. And Pragg also has a plan though. He has the plan of a3. If let's say I pass a
Yeah.
move with king h1, you can see how the bar goes down. Yeah, a3 strong, bishop b4 strong, only e4 pawn is weak. And if, for example, a3 takes, you can already imagine the kind of mayhem he can cause with these pins here. So Pragg also has a plan, and that means the stakes have just risen. Now Arvind cannot go back to a draw. There is no draw now. He will have to go on the offensive with knight to f5. And Kasparov ने कहा था, knight, तुम मुझे knight on f5 दो, मैं तुम्हें checkmate दूंगा.
Yeah, it's very true. And he said the knight on f5 is worth more than a rook also, Tikko bhai. So
Yeah.
definitely makes sense. And just also coming back, ये जो अर्जुन का गेम है, like what did Nodirbek do? मतलब क्या ही चल रहा है शुरू से ही, एकदम बहुत खराब पोजीशन ओपनिंग से.
I think वो गलती वहां start हुई when he sat in front of Arjun. I think jokes apart, I think he even played d6. Yeah, so I think maybe the opening itself, you don't want to enter complications against Arjun, because as we saw in Norway chess, he was so well prepared. Fabi novelty निकाल रहा है, Arjun देख के बैठा है. So of course he knows what to do, and this d5 move completely equalized everything quickly. And then this blunder, yeah, queen b7, a one move blunder, and accuracy difference right now in the final positions, Rakesh bhai, 99.7 for Arjun and 90 for his opponent. Itna difference hai.
It's crazy. And Arjun has more time. Opponent के पास सिर्फ 25 मिनट है टिकू, and he just played knight c4 of a couple of minutes ago. And looks like, I think मैं सिर्फ रुक को बाजू में ला सकता हूँ ना, रुक c2, रुक 7th rank पे ऐसे सुना है कि बहुत ही strong piece होता है.
Yeah.
And your bishop can't move, your rook can't move, king, बीच में king का भी castle नहीं, और rook into pawn आ रहा है अगले move पे. So I think Arjun definitely is going to win this one for sure.
This is the best move, Rakesh bhai. But there is also another move which we just saw with chat, and that is rook takes e3.
Ooh, okay, that's exciting.
And now queen se maroge to rook f2 apparently is lost on the spot with some calculation. So knight e3 is the only move. Rook f2, queen f2, sorry, knight f2, king f2, queen check. King has to come up, and now queen c3 with the idea of bishop d4. And of course, this is technically not over, but apparently this is also winning for black, objectively at least, because the king is a bit loose. But of course, this can go south. Yeah, if white somehow consolidates, gets the rooks active, you can imagine this can turn around and be equal also. But this is also another way for Arjun to win. If he wants something forcing, he can do this.
Yeah, and Tico, you remember we both were commentating on a very similar game, Arjun का Norway chess last round. I mean, मैग्नस के अगेंस्ट भी उसको क्वीन मिल रही थी, बट वो गलत डिसीजन था. तो somehow that might be playing on his mind. And I like this. Arjun उसका टाइम ले रहा है, उसके पास है 25 मिनट ज्यादा opponent से, तो he's smartly taking his time. And I think both moves look good, but I like rook c2 के chance नहीं दे रहा opponent को, but Arjun being the supreme calculator, वो सोच रहा है rook into e3 अगर चलेगा, then he will go for it.
Yeah, he will. And one thing you notice, chat, by the way, I have still not seen Arjun calculate while looking at the board. इतना टाइम
Oh
हो गया.
yeah.
मेरे को एक मेमोरी नहीं है. Maybe I'm missing a moment, chat, but he almost never looks at the board and calculates. That's unique. Of course, some players do this, but not all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, very. I mean, Nakamura काफी बार मतलब
हाँ.
ऊपर देख के खेलता है. But yeah, this is also he's not looking, but he's definitely calculating. And I think Tico Egan was spidey sense is tingling. He can feel it. There is something in the position for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Raman saying it would be lovely to take autographs from these legends. Can I visit this offline? I am in Tashkent. You absolutely can. I think after the games finish, you can meet the players, possibly wait outside the hotel. Maybe they'll come out, depends on where they're living and whatever. But you might find opportunities. In fact, World Championships se leke, candidates se leke, koi bhi event ho, usually players do kind of take photos and autographs. Now,
Yeah.
में कितना देखा ये हुआ था?
Yeah, even पुणे WGP में टिको में आपके साथ भी
हाँ.
बहुत लोग ले रहे थे. So, definitely an option.
मुझे वो डायलॉग याद आ रहा है भाई. अब वो उसकी रेस में ये भी दौड़ेंगे.
अच्छा, वो
Anyways.
घोड़ों के रेस में.
हाँ, so फिलहाल के लिए chat 25 मिनट. Arjun using that extra time on his clock. He's not
Yeah.
hurrying with any move. And of course, two options, rook c2 और rook e3. दोनों moves rook की है और कुछ option नहीं है. There's also another slight option apparently, Rakesh, and that is the freaky move knight to e1.
No way.
Like,
What
that is the
the-
third best move. And the idea is the only move for white here is rook to d1.
Wow.
First of all, if you take rook takes e1, there is, sorry, kaha gaya? Knight e1. Let's say you play rook takes e1, then there is queen d3 check, king g1, and now rook to b1, and it's over. So you lose the rook. So you can't take this. If you take with the king, then there is bishop c, king bishop c3 check, and of course then queen d3 check and the same. So you can't take this rook d1, and white kind of holds. So of course it's a tricky move. We have a move on the board. What did he play?
Rook c2.
Oh,
c2
he
play.
plays the best move, Rakesh. 99.7 accuracy में काफी नहीं है अर्जुन के लिए. He wants to increase it further.
Yeah, and DC in the chat was saying is rook sack incoming, but brother, I think Arjun makes a good move, जिससे he retains the advantage and also ना मतलब opponent को free होने का chance नहीं मिला. So it definitely looks like the strongest move, and I think now I would predict, I think, Tiku, a result like the game ending in the next 10 moves. I think.
Bhai, I think he depends on उनके opponent. Maybe he will fight on because जब से उन्होंने blunder किया है, he has been kind of playing the best moves. So maybe there is some hope कि white drags this as long as possible. But yeah, for example, now after rook d1, Rakesh, apparently the best move is queen to a4, which is not like the first move that comes to mind, right?
Yeah, it's not that tough also. C4 का knight मर रहा है. Plus the rook on d3 will be pinned if you capture my knight. And the whole game, मतलब, it's the whole game is around the fact that कि white का जो कोने में रुक है h1 पे, वो कुछ कर रहा नहीं है game में. And because of that, the king is unsafe and black के सारे pieces game में. So इसीलिए इंजन इतना बड़ा advantage दिखा रहा है. Pawn भी in fact white के पास एक pawn जाता है. But because of that inactive rook, I think this is going to be a matter of technique. मतलब 10 से 15 max ये मेरा prediction है अर्जुन के.
हाँ, let's see क्या होता है. Yeah, we checking Rakesh bhai's audio, भाई. Rakesh check करना if you can increase the audio somehow. Chat को आपका oh my god full volume में सुनना है भाई. So इसमें वो feeling नहीं आएगी भाई जब भी blunder होगा. बोलो कुछ.
Is it better now? Hello, mic check.
हाँ, it is better. It is better, I think. Chat, let us know if it is better, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my god!
Rook d1 played. So white also playing quickly, and now Arjun has to find queen a4, queen e6, one of these ideas, kind of
Queen a4 the
unpinning.
only move, Sahib?
No, he can still play rook a2 also, but
Okay,
I
okay.
think the best moves are the queen moves, getting out of this pin instantly. So queen
And
e6 or queen a4.
attacking the Ghoda.
Yeah, yeah. This knight on c4.
Oh my कह रहे हैं best move for Nodirbek is to resign, and I kind of agree. मतलब
Why?
थोड़ा तो try करेंगे, but yeah, looks unlikely for him to turn it around.
I agree. I think the thing is the fact that the game went so long, maybe it's kind of forcing him to play on. But one more mistake, right? So एक और गलती हो जाएगी white से, तो he will just resign. So he has to literally play the best moves now to literally just play the game. एक हल्की सी गलती and it's over. He will have to resign. There'll be no other option. By the कोई कह
Yeah,
रहा
yeah.
है queen a4, knight d2 and rook a2. So that is also possible. And again, I win a
Hmm.
pawn. I'm keeping an eye on your rook. So what did white achieve? And if you try to develop your king now, g3, king g2, I have 95 ideas. And queen को rook defend करना है, queen को ये diagonal defend करना है, ये diagonal defend करना है. भाई queen से कितनी मजदूरी कराओगे? भाई एक लिमिट होती है सर राकेश भाई नहीं? भाई
True. And काफी important है टिकू to note कि not all the queen moves win. Very nice question in the chat. यहाँ पे I think by Som by जो बोल रहे why not queen b5? तो queen b5 में एक problem है जो queen a4 और queen e6 में नहीं कि knight a3 आ रहा है. Knight
हाँ
can attack the white queen अगर queen b5 खेलोगे तो ये एक problem है. And in fact टिकू that equalizes the position completely.
Yeah, it's a fork. Rook and queen attacked, and कहीं ना कहीं पे you will be struggling now, and that's where Yakubov कुर्सी में सीधा बैठेंगे and he will start staring at you again. So you don't want to do that. So maybe queen a4 and queen e6 are the two very logical moves.
Yeah, and another question, क्या होगा अगर ऊपर वाला pawn मारूंगा? मतलब I think rook takes c3 maybe they're suggesting,
Ah,
and
I
I
think
feel
it's
knight b2 आ जाएगा ना? मतलब just why
yeah,
not?
and ये जो pin है ना, this is the only tactic white has राकेश भाई नहीं?
Hmm. Yeah, and in fact मैं जब पहले भी बोल रहा था white is already a pawn up, so should not be that big of a problem for white to give up the pawn.
Yep. And वो एक या दो पॉन देने को तैयार है because black का king भी weak है and black's pawns are also और isolated. चारों isolated pawns है, so even a pawn down he might save this.
Mhm.
So that's why I think फिलहाल rook d1 के बाद Arjun has to go on the offensive. So queen e6 attacking the knight, and if white will take this knight, then of course I take the knight on c4. I pin your rook, and again you're struggling. Yeah, for queen d5 खेलना पड़ेगा. Queen d5 ये मारा, and now Arjun has the only move. Boom! Rook takes e3, pawn takes, and he picks up the rook in the corner. So, and piece up should be completely winning.
Yeah, looks completely weird. By the way, very interesting comment by Hindi videos, and I wanted to know your opinion, Tiku. Ki Arjun is back to rating farming against low-rated GMs. Nice to see. क्या कहना
भाई
चाहेंगे आप इसके बारे में?
भाई जस्ट टू पॉइंट आउट इस टूर्नामेंट में 10 प्लेयर हैं एंड
हाँ.
10 में से एक तो अर्जुन ये 9 बचे, एक प्रग
हम्म.
है तो 8 बचे, अरविंद है तो 7 बचे, नेपो है तो 6 बचे, रैपोर्ट है तो 5 बचे, नोदिरबेक है तो 4 बचे. तो आई डोंट नो ये ईएलओ फार्मिंग किसको बोलते हैं. लाइक एटलीस्ट 100 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस तो होना चाहिए ना भाई फार्मिंग बोलने के लिए.
मतलब ये गेम में तो है चलो 100 पॉइंट का
हाँ
डिफरेंस तो ये गेम
हाँ
तो ठीक है. बट इट ऑल्सो लाइक उसने वो गया ही 2800 तक इन सब प्लेयर्स को हरा के. बट ही ऑल्सो
हाँ.
प्रूव्ड इट एट दैट लेवल. मतलब नॉर्वे चेस में भी उसने प्रूव करा लाइक एट दैट लेवल
हम्म.
एज वेल. सो ही इज जस्ट अ वेरी स्ट्रांग प्लेयर ओवरऑल. अभी ऐसा नहीं है कि लोअर या हाई रेटेड का ही सी है.
Yeah, agreed. And not to forget the Olympiad, how well he played. Not to forget Norway chess, by the way, a decent tournament for Arjun as well.
Yeah.
Defeated Gukesh as well once, lost to him once, and had a win against Magnus, of course, in the Armageddon, but still, who made in 2 किया था Magnus का last round में राकेश भाई याद है. So
मतलब
even though
who
I think
who can claim कि they have checkmated Magnus Carlsen in a over the board game? ऐसा है. उतने ही कम लोग
rare,
होंगे.
rare. And now, by the way, time thoda kam hota hua. So not to forget, they have to reach 40 moves only then they will get another 30 minutes. So time thoda kam hua दोनों players का, the game is still very very complicated. So Arjun needs to be a bit quick, and of course उनके opponent भी थोड़ा time pressure में है. So still banking on Arjun here. By the way, apparently Arvind is a bit better. Let's have a brief look what really happened. So we went a4 and Arvind maybe set up a slight trap. Rakesh bhai, I don't know what happened. He played bishop f4 and a3 was a mistake here.
Yeah, like A3, of course, Arvind has taken. And you know when it's a mistake when you offer a pawn trade and opponent takes it in like 2 minutes and now you are thinking. So I think Pragg has definitely missed something here in his calculations because maybe of course rook into B3, rook into A3 is a obvious move, recapture. And then I think knight B3 के बाद थोड़े problems है, I feel.
Yeah, and the problem is the rook and the queen, I think, on the same file. Because let's say आप bishop b6 खेलते हो, now e5, and कहीं ना कहीं पे knight attacked, pawn attacked, you have to take this. Now bishop takes, and I'm threatening bishop f6 followed by rook d7, and there is lot of tactics in the air. And ये जो का पूरा plan था, it's not doing anything. And what did Pragg play?
Yeah, the best move in the position, bishop d4.
But it's still apparently better for white, right? So, Rakesh, maybe Arvind has some chances to beat Pragg here.
For sure, it's just a very pleasant position. Only saving grace Pragg के लिए है कि ना वो जो bishops है वो opposite colored है. So opposite color bishops में there are higher drawing tendencies. But I feel it's a two result. Either मतलब Arvind जीतेगा या draw होगा. Pragg के I think जीतने के chances बहुत ही कम लग रहे हैं. Plus time भी हल्का सा कम है. And it's definitely मतलब Arvind in the driver's seat, I would say.
Agreed. And the queen still cannot move out of this file because there is bishop h6 chat. And then the knight on f6 will be hanging. And Arvind's plan still could be e5 at the right moment. चाहे वो पहले इसको unpin करके हो या direct हो, but that's still in the air. It's not vanished. So Pragg will have to be on point, and not to forget, look at the clock for both players. Arvind 10 minutes ahead. So both Indian boards, right? So one side is winning, Rakesh, and they are also ahead on the clock. So that means we could have two results here.
Yeah, and two wins by Indian players, that would be a great start. Not so much for Pragg, maybe in that case, but I think it's definitely nice to be an Indian chess fan overall, Tiku. And just wondering if Arjun has played something. Yeah, Queen A4 played, Tiku.
भाई क्या बंदा यार अर्जुन, भाई कैसे निकलता है हर बार.
But I am very disappointed by Arjun. यार Queen E6 नहीं खेला, मतलब only 98.9 accuracy है, क्या है ये? But yeah,
basically Arjun ने
completely winning.
Basically अर्जुन ने डायरेक्ट दिल्ली से मुंबई जाना था, तो उसने फ्लाइट ले ली, बट ही स्टॉप्ड ऑन द वे टू द एयरपोर्ट फॉर अ स्नैक. तो उसके लिए हम उसको डांट रहे कि व्हाई डू यू स्टॉप फॉर द स्नैक? शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ वुड हैव बीन डायरेक्टली टू गो टू द एयरपोर्ट भाई. बिल्कुल 2 मिनट का भी रेस्ट नहीं लेना है. व्हाई इज इट नॉट 100%? Queen a4, man, that's not wasn't the first move that came to my mind. So great move there, attacking the pawn, attacking the knight, unpinning that knight, super important. And now of course white के पास option क्या है? Rook d3 we already saw is lost. It's a forcing variation जहां पे you lose a piece. This, and this, and next I will pick up the rook. So you can't go, rook d3. So other option is knight d2, Rakesh. But then I can just pick up the pawn here if I want to. I can pick up the a2 pawn, and again I'm winning back the pawns as well. And you still can't get away with your king. For example, g3, knight b2 apparently is winning on the spot.
Oh yeah. That's tough. That's tough. And I'm not really sure, white का best move ही क्या होगा, like in the current position, because it looks really tough for white to come up with a good defense.
Rakesh bhai, just to highlight how bad this is, the third best move for white is king g1, just giving up the knight.
कुछ भी मतलब ये
just
क्या
saying
1200 level का मतलब.
That's the third best move in the position. Second best is rook d3, which is losing a piece by force. And best is knight d2. So the only way to play on, I think, is knight d2, unfortunately. Everything else loses.
Yeah, but it looks so ऐसे ugly ना, मतलब
Yeah.
अजीब है, अजीब लग रहा है बहुत.
But I think he's about to play it. He was about to touch the knight. I don't see any other squares for the knight. Can we go full screen, Nidhi? Arjun, by the way, still not looking at the board. Rakesh, like, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer like looking at the board and calculating, or do you prefer कि भाई मैं, you know, distance में दीवार को देख के calculate करूं?
I prefer distance में देख के, but होता नहीं है मेरे से. I need the board, थोड़ा pieces I can visualize better
हाँ
if I look at the board. So mistakes या blunders कम होते हैं. बट
हाँ.
अगर हाँ, ये फ्लेक्स है. एंड वो ये भी बोल रहे थे मतलब चैट में भी कि अर्जुन ओरा फार्मिंग बाय नॉट लुकिंग एट द बोर्ड. सो ये भी एक सीन है. एंड
Oh,
भाई
why he just
ओह
looked at the board for 2 seconds? Why?
या ऐसे ही, मतलब हम अपने लिए था, ये अपने लिए. But then Mishal is saying a very nice point that Nepo has indeed sacrificed the rook. Like
Wow.
very.
भाई ऐसा क्या रुक कर दिया भाई. भाई लेवी को हर कोई थंबनेल देता रहता है. By the way, okay, we'll go to that game, but I think we have a move coming in from Arjun. I'm also fixing my camera. Let me just see कि अर्जुन क्या खेलने वाला है. Oh, he just grabs the pawn. Yeah, he. I think that's the second best move or third best move in the position. Not the best one though, but a still pretty good one.
Yeah, that should I think suffice, I would say.
I think it's also practical, right? Because now we are reaching that phase जहाँ पे we are seeing both players go down on the clock. So if you have a decent move, which you feel is completely winning, it might not be the best. But if you can save like 10 minutes on the clock, that is, I think, practically a better decision.
True.
Rakesh bhai, question for you, ठीक है? And chat for you as well. Which move do you think the game will end? Move number.
ओह देखो, मैंने तो पिछले मुंह पे 10 मुंह बोला था. तो लेट मी चेक दैट. 18 plus 10 is 28. मेरा नंबर है 28. चैट फटाफट बताओ आपका नंबर है. ठीक है भाई. अरे नहीं, सी ओनली 630 लाइक्स है तो कुछ कर भी नहीं सकते अपन गिव अवे टाइप्स.
हाँ 500 वाला मैंने कर भी दिया. तो चैट स्ट्रीम लाइक करते चलो जल्दी से, बिकॉज वी कैन डू अनदर चैलेंज फॉर यू एज सून एज रीच 1000 लाइक्स. जल्दी करो भाई.
So come on chat, 1000 likes and we will have a giveaway for the move number on which Arjun wins the game.
या
भाई क्या पता ना, अपोनेंट डीमोटिवेट हो गया ना, पहले रिजाइन कर देता. चैट डोंट टेक द रिस्क, फटाफट लाइक कर दो. यू नेवर नो, इट माइट एंड सून.
yeah, absolutely. And chat, rook a2 के बाद, I think there are a bunch of ideas, including like, knight e5, distracting the queen to win the rook. There is rook a1, simply back rank issues. There is knight b2 ideas, bishop c3 ideas. Rook e3 will always be in the air because you can't take with the queen because rook hangs. So बहुत सारे tactics है हवा में. And हवा में भाई, there's love in the air. I think there's sacrifice in the air, Rakesh भाई यहाँ पे.
True. And I'm just reading the comments. मतलब जनता क्या बोल रही है. Lakshya Singh 35, Anjani Singh 25 and Anjani Singh 37. I don't think टिको 30 मूव क्रॉस होंगे for some reason. मतलब मेरा, because it's my personal feeling. And yeah, lots of votes, 26, 29, 33, 34. So आपका क्या prediction है टिको भाई? When do you think the game will end?
I think around 7 to 8 moves and White will resign. Because the thing is, Rakesh, the thing is, he's chat, look at the time. 16 minutes for White. Within a couple of moves, he'll be below 10 minutes. That means from his perspective, it's very difficult to keep coming up with the best ideas. And as we know, one mistake and it's over. So he's touching the G pawn. G3, I think, will be his next move. Or G4 also could be it. But either way, I think that means he's trying to fix the H3 played. Oh, what G3? Okay,
no
so
way that works. No way that.
I mean, it's holding. So the idea is King G1, King H2, but it's still 2 moves away, Rakesh. And apparently Knight E5 now and Bishop C3, both moves are crushing. For example, let me show you a variation chat. Let's say I just pick up the pawn. And I'm going to put the king on G1, side step and dance. But the game is over because there is rook takes E3 again. If you take with the pawn, I pick up the knight for free and it's game over. If you take with the queen, there is queen d1. So as we said, ये rook e3 tactic हमेशा हवा में है. So that's why I think बहुत tactics है, and bishop c3 is it basically sets up rook takes e3. That's why I think bishop e3 great move for Arjun.
Yeah, bishop c3 looks very good. Knight e5 also interesting, Tiku, jaise you pointed out. And also, of course, the queen is attacked. Queen ko rook ko support karke chalna hai. They can't do that. So queen e2 is also possible. And now can I just, continue slowly? Yeah, I will have to play pawn to a5 or rook a1, something like that. Instead of which I prefer grabbing the pawn. Like, let's go instead of knight e5. Maro bishop c3.
या वैसे भी आई थिंक वापस क्यों आना है, एक पीस घर पे बैठा हुआ है उसके, सो वापस के बदले लेट्स पिक अप अनदर पॉन. एक और पीस को पार्टी में लाते हैं भाई, सारा गैंग साथ में बैठ के पार्टी करेंगे भाई, लेट्स गो. कोई कह रहा है बायस चैनल, भाई Chess24 एंड चेसकॉम इंडिया है, सो क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हो भाई हम. आई थिंक राकेश भाई डर लग रहा है यार याकूबोव के लिए यार, आई होप ही विंस.
Yeah, Vasan, I mean, matlab, what do you expect us? Come on, Yakubayev OP. Like, what do you want us to say?
I think ऐसा नहीं है कि we are against any foreign players. We want to do well, but we want the Indians to strike. That's basically it. And we want Arjun to strike because the game he has played has been fabulous. 99 accuracy है भाई, पता है भाई, जिसने भी 12th में 100% लाने की कोशिश करी है, तुम्हें पता है 99 किसी भी चीज में लाना कितना मुश्किल है. और तुम लोग तो रट भी लोगे चीजें भाई, ये लोग रट नहीं सकते, इनको ओवर द बोर्ड खेलना है. सो इट्स वेरी वेरी इंप्रेसिव देयर.
True. And uh, this idea with bishop c3 is what I think Arjun is calculating. कि देखो एक तिरछी नजर भी मारी उन्होंने बिशप के तरफ, and I think he is definitely calculating that. And Tiku bhai, if we can do like a compilation of the seconds Arjun saw at the board in this game, that would be a very nice clip.
अगर साहिल मिश्रा जी देख रहे हैं या अरविंद जी देख रहे हैं भाई, कुछ बनाओ भाई एक. आई थिंक ही नेवर लुक्स एट द बोर्ड. अभी देख रहा है बोलने के लिए, मन रखने के लिए, वापस ऊपर भाई.
भाई उसने लिटरली बोर्ड की तरफ देखा ही नहीं है, क्या चल क्या रहा है ये
भाई. इफ वी जस्ट कट द कैमरा राइट इन हाफ, you would think he's looking at somebody and kind of eye contact maintaining. You would have no idea he's playing chess. He's not looking downwards at all.
Exactly. Finally, चलो इतना बेचारे कमेंटेटर्स बोल रहे हैं तो 3 सेकंड के लिए देखा फिर ऊपर.
Chat super excited about this game. Let's hope so he can win. And meanwhile, let's have a look at the game of Arvind against Pragg. If something has happened, nothing has happened. And Arvind also now for the first time behind Pragg on the clock. Rakesh, I'm sensing कि यहाँ पे भी एक रिजल्ट गर्मा गर्म तैयार है, because 18 चालें खेलनी है 25 मिनट में.
बिल्कुल टिकवा. And you know what? I think Arvind can feel it. Arvind को पता है अभी उसकी पोजीशन बेटर है. He has the edge. Only he can push for a win. And Arvind हल्का सा टाइम प्रेशर में इसके ला रहा है because he feels that he has to do something quickly. Otherwise, the advantage can evaporate.
Absolutely, and he senses it. Pragg senses it. He has to be both games. I think one side has the edge, the other on the clock. तो उनको all they have to do is make sure कि भाई अपना advantage slip ना हो जाए. Simultaneously playing very quickly, because Chad, I think Norway chess में क्या था कि time नहीं मिलता था after 40 moves, but यहाँ मिलेगा. And increment is 30 seconds. So if you do reach the 40th move, then you will get a lot more time. So you can get a new lifeline in this game. So बहुत important है. And accuracy wise, Arvind 98.3 and Pragg 97. So he's right now indeed dominating this game. So going back to the Arjun game, Rakesh bhai, still no moves and 33 minutes for Arjun.
And oof, still man. Not looking at the board. अर्जुन का क्या पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम है कुछ, आई थिंक आज इतना मैंने नहीं देखा. नॉर्मली अर्जुन आल्सो लुक्स एट द बोर्ड बीच में.
आई थिंक मे बी ही इज लाइक अ ह्यूज गाय कि यार वी शुड नॉट बर्न ट्रीज बिकॉज़ वुड बनता है ट्रीज बर्न करने से. सो ही इज लाइक ही इज सेविंग दैट वुडन चेस बोर्ड बन रहे हैं, आई वांट टू नॉट लाइक हैव मोर ट्रीज कट. या मतलब ऐसा कुछ होगा सीन.
क्या पता, like also chat, what is your theory? Like why is Arjun not thinking at the board? मतलब आज क्या अलग, मेरे को क्या लग रहा है, मतलब मेरा theory क्या है? He wants to beat anybody below 2700 without looking at the board. ऐसा मेरे को लग
नहीं
रहा है.
नहीं, आई डोंट थिंक
Challenge
कोई
दे रहा
ऑरा
है वो.
फार्मिंग कर रहा है वो. आई थिंक इज हैबिट, या मतलब उसको बोर्ड अच्छे से मन में ही दिखता है. आई थिंक दैट्स जस्ट इट.
Possible, but
पर्सनल माइलस्टोन है, अपने कोच को बोलना हर गेम से पहले, यार आज अपन बोर्ड पर नहीं देखेगा, एक्स्ट्रा एक्स्ट्रा रेटिंग पॉइंट चाहिए. बट एनीवेज, स्टिल नॉट लुकिंग एट द बोर्ड. लेट्स गो
और
फुल स्क्रीन
देखो
वाले भाई.
बेचारा अपोनेंट जो पूरी तरह एकदम फोकस बोर्ड पे देख रहा है, वो कंप्लीटली लॉस्ट है.
बोर्ड इज वेरी
Arjun
डर्टी.
about
नहीं नहीं
to,
भाई.
yeah, he was about to play, but no, नहीं.
कैन हाँ.
भाई प्लीज देख ले यार, प्लीज बोर्ड की तरफ देख ले.
कोई कह रहा है Arvind, Abhi Ramesh said Arvind is the most talented of all Indians. See, that might be true, right? Because he's worked with many of the Indian youngsters, especially Pragg, Arvind, and I don't know, I don't want to like misspeak the students, but he has worked with many of them. So he has a good understanding in terms of talent, hard work, and everything, who's the best. And it's very hard to know why he mentioned Arvind there, but knowing the fact he Arvind won like the Chennai GM Open way back when he was 2300 in front of 2650 Grandmasters is a good sign that he was always kind of strong.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I have played a couple of games with Arvind when he was a kid, basically, and at the age of 12, he won the Indian Under 20 Championship. So I played him in that event. So he's definitely been very talented. And now, in the last couple of years, we have seen him really rise to the world elite. And it's so nice to see him. I think he's fully deserved and an amazing player. And Tiku, you know what? World number 9 और कैंडिडेट्स में होते हैं 8 लोग, तो we can definitely think that Arvind can qualify for the next year's candidates tournament.
Absolutely, and that's why beating Pragg for him is important, right? You mentioned it, Rakesh, when you joined in. That the fact is, Pragg is the leader in the FIDE circuit. Arvind is number 2. So all he has to do is beat Pragg. If he keeps beating Pragg, plays the same events, wins ahead of him, gradually he will overtake him in the standings, and the year is not even halfway over, chat. Do not forget, we are still in June. There are enough events. And by the way, is that a mistake? No, that's one of the good moves. Yeah, the third best move, Rook A1 played, Rakesh. I think Arjun needs a forcing way to win this, and I don't see how you get out of this alive, Rakesh, because what do? You don't have time for King G1 now.
Yeah, Rook is attacked. You have to, if I capture it, let's just show it quickly to the chat. Mara, King Upar, and I think you just capture my Rook. Game over. तो मार भी नहीं सकते हो. Can I play King E2 again, Tiku?
भाई, I mean, King E2, Knight C1, Knight F4 maybe, yeah, wins on the spot. Because Bishop is pinned.
Pin and win.
And if you take with the Queen, I take with the Queen, and the Bishop is again pinned.
Oh boy, what is the defense then?
So, the defense, by the way, the defense is apparently Knight to B3, which first of all is not an easy move to find. Let's be clear on this, because the Knight is hanging. The idea is if you take the Knight, I'm going to pick up the Rook, and White is now better. So you have to take on D1, Queen takes D1, and now play Knight B2 or Knight E5.
Yeah, just move the Knight away, keep it protected, and idea is, now next move I'll play the Rook to B8. And how are you going to unpin?
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a
तो भाई लोग जिसने भी 30 के अंदर लिखा है like game ending in below 30 moves, you have a great chance only, but देखो caveat है ना, 1000 likes बने तभी chance है.
Chat like karo, and chat, we are so glad to have you. This is day 1 of the Uzbekistan Chess Cup 2025 Masters. Round 1 चल रहा है. India की Olympia team जो अगले साल होगी likely 4 players की, that is Gukesh, Arjun, Pragg, Arvind, likely as of now based on the current rankings. उन चारों में से 3 प्लेयर यहां खेल रहे हैं. They are fighting for the candidate spot. They are fighting for India number 1, world top 3. They are fighting for a lot here. So rating spot Arjun fight कर रहा है. Grand Prix क्या बोलते हैं उसको भाई? FIDE circuit point के लिए Pragg fight कर रहा है, Arvind fight कर रहा है.
और Grand Swiss भी एक है मतलब.
हाँ.
Upcoming event.
सब चीजें ग्रैंड है भाई. That's the problem.
Bhai, matlab, it looks so bad for Nodirbek here. Yakuboev, and of course, we have two Nodirbeks, Abdusattar and Yakuboev, not related, सिर्फ नाम same है दोनों के. But yeah, Yakuboev is down and out. I think I was watching the stream, Tiku. जो भी चैट में किसी ने लिखा या आपने बोला कि बेचारे नोडिरबेक का पहले तीनों गेम इंडियन से है.
हाँ, चैट ने बोला किसी ने, हाँ सही में.
वाह, बेचारा यार, मतलब.
Bhai, Arjun, next Arvind, next Pragg. And it's not looking great for him, of course. And very important, by the way, Nepo is apparently worse against Yakovlev Sindarov. उन्होंने कोई रुक सैक किया था जो हम बात कर रहे थे. And apparently H4 was a mistake. And he could be losing. So one of the challenges in this event, remember chat, how do you qualify to the candidates? You win events. So Nepo is a huge challenger and him losing could mean कि Indian players के chances बढ़ते हुए. So that is also great news, yeah, for the Indian players, Rakesh bhai.
Yeah, and especially, with Carlsen also saying if somebody from Nepo, Karuan or Naka win the candidates, it's over. And King E2 by Nodirbek.
What?
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 Knight F4 bhai, Rani gayi.
Bhai, Arjun is about to win White's queen. Knight F4 is over. Wow. So basically he wants a knight and a rook, right, for queen. He's saying knight F4 check.
Yeah.
You take, I pick up your rook, but you can't be serious about this. I mean, this is completely lost, right? I can't imagine him thinking, bhai, ye bacha lunga. Bishop D2 aa raha hai.
Arjun about to play, and I think this is his way, Nodirbek's way of saying, ki chalo, at least the game extends by a few moves. And he plays it.
Wow. Of course. Wait, what? He was about to play and he stopped himself. What's happening there?
Yeah, I mean, no other
I mean, of
move.
course he saw
has
this.
to take. He has to take it.
Yeah, Queen F4, Rani मिल गई भाई, राकेश भाई, Rani मिल गई दूसरे की, let's go.
You're lost when your opponent. I mean, when somebody starts playing with the left hand instead of.
हाँ, he literally just देखा मैंने last में ऐसे तुक्के से हल्का सा clock दबा दिया. He is given up, yeah. And now Arjun has multiple ways to win. Chat. In fact, Bishop H6 be possible with the idea of Rook takes E3. Winning the bishop first and then the knight, or you can just take the pawn. Also possible. Both options very logical.
What Arjun is doing, bishop c3 की तरफ हाथ जाते हुए.
हाँ.
3, 2, 1. There you go.
Let's
bishop
go.
c3. And you know when a game is about to end, Tiku, जब भी आसपास ना भीड़ इकट्ठा हो रही है, देखो. People are coming like vultures, मतलब, around that game.
And don't forget, chat. This is with the black pieces. So Arjun getting a win with the black pieces. Tomorrow, he's going to have white against Maqsoodlu. So if he wins against Maqsoodlu tomorrow, he crosses Fabi and becomes the new world number 3.
Yeah, if he wins tomorrow, that is true. And another good update is, Arjun, जिनके I think लगभग 3.5 point गिरे Norway chess में. That is just completely recovered by this one win, Tiku.
And a crushing win, Rakesh. जब वो कल बैठेंगे बोर्ड के ऊपर, उनका confidence होगा to win this game out of the opening itself and to convert it slow flawlessly, right? He did not, like, उसकी preparation कभी तो खत्म हुई होगी, but पूरा end तक conversion has been flawless. 0 mistakes, 98-19 and accuracy पे खेल रहे हैं. Just absolute brutal conversion and उनकी team बहुत खुश होगी, वो बहुत खुश होंगे. And of course, he has staked a claim कि हिकारू भाई, हिकारू ने हराया नहीं था, याद है उकेश को? Like he took the draw. उकेश था, I think whosoever it was last round में, he said कि I want to maintain my rating, I don't want to take risks. But Arjun is saying I'm coming for the rating spot, bro.
Yeah, Hikaru definitely not guaranteed that rating spot agar Arjun keeps playing and winning like this. And you mentioned Arjun and his team being very happy, and fully agree with that, Tiku. But another part why we'll be very happy, because मतलब आज पसीना भी नहीं आया अर्जुन. He just won so easily, मतलब.
भाई पसीना लेकिन ऑपोनेंट को डबल आया ना भाई, तो नेट पसीना बराबर निकला, आई थिंक maybe more.
Yeah, seeing a question, World Cup India से कौन खेलेगा? So definitely, like, at least I expect 10 Indians to play minimum with the ratings and qualifying. Also, Gukesh को जरूरत नहीं है खेलने की, but this is one event, Tiku, he hasn't won, so we might see Gukesh as well. We're just waiting. एक बार FIDE पे officially announce कर दे गोवा, the city, because it's still not yet fully announced. Speculations are about Goa, but yeah, that might happen very, very soon.
The thing is, chat, Goa is a great place. By the way, he's about to take that pawn on a7, which apparently is a mistake because queen g5 apparently just wins because g2 is falling.
Yeah. Oh, and we
Wow.
have very big chess fans. Like Rohit Pichayas is so good to see. Ivanchuk in the background, such love for the game. Absolutely, man. Chucky, what a legend. He's played from so many years, about 40 years at the top level now, and really nice to see.
Glad to see Samarena there as well. Sorry. Sorry. गलत हो गया.
Kyle in the chat is saying, hey, Chess24 India, big fan from the Philippines, much love. Salamat, brother from,
भाई pawn मार
from the
दिया है.
Philippines.
Pawn मार दिया है, and now he has multiple options. Queen
Game
d4
over.
wins, queen g5 wins. Queen e5 also wins. The idea is just to take on d2 or just take on e3 and take on d2, something like that. Basically, आपको कुछ ना कुछ मारना है and you have to win something else. Either the pawn on g2, either the knight on d2, something. But
Yeah,
everything
and
wins now.
very, very important to note, Bishop d4 is a big mistake.
Oh, queen
And
g5.
yeah, Arjun is a beast. Like,
Wow.
मैं Arjun and mistake एक लाइन में बोल दिया ना, उधर ही मेरा गलती हो गया. Queen
True.
g5, and it's, by the way, EWC कौन खेल रहा है the esports World Cup? Faraz is asking again. Arjun Erigaisi.
Yeah. Arjun is the only one who qualified among Indians for the esports World Cup, and I think we might see Hokesh there. If I think World Championship में कुछ हो सकता है तरीका qualify करने का, I don't know. Maybe, but I think Arjun is the only one who has qualified. And there's also 4 spots still available. So Riyadh में एक last qualifier होगा. So वहाँ पे भी I think maybe some players might qualify because Arvind has qualified for an all expense paid trip to play that event.
Yeah.
So there might be others qualifying as well.
And I just love how attentive and कितने बारीकी से chat ये देख रही है. Like just shout out to Sanket. ये चीज मैंने भी नोटिस करा, बट मैंने सिर्फ अनाउंस नहीं किया स्क्रीन पे. बट वो पूछ रहा है कि परम खेल भी रहा है या सिर्फ घूमने आया है.
भाई
But it
Pragg
is
by the way
true.
dancing. Pragg dancing by the way. He was vibing literally. भाई देखो Param I think is an aggressive player. तो चलते चलते भी aggression दिखेगा भाई. Like it's very hard to just control that aggression. While your opponent is thinking, you are moving around. वो कहीं energy कहीं तो निकलेगी ना.
True. And Reed is saying Hikaru isn't just 2800, he's 2807, and 28 pay there's a rating curse. Yeah, true. And I think that is what he's banking on, Tikku. Because Hikaru thinks he doesn't need to play anything and he'll qualify.
But Arjun can pull it off. He's reached that rating before. 2809. अपनी अब तक की peak line rating Arjun पहुंच जाएंगे. He will get the ratings for. By the way, he's about to play something. Whatever he's going to play, we are going to see some checks, some grabs on G2, and it'll be over. The king on E2, absolutely stuck.
By the way, do we give chat also a last chance qualifier for the membership question? मतलब
Chat, by the way,
क्योंकि
let's
1300 हो
get
गए. पहले तो 1000 लोग थे, अभी 1300 लोग हो गए.
let's get to 1000 likes because we want to give you a chance to win a membership at 1000 likes कि भाई कितनी move में game खत्म होगी. So let's get to 1000 likes. जल्दी से chat. इतने सारे और लोगों को बुलाते हैं because Arjun deserves it. भाई what a victory today. What a game today. And look at the Wild King. देखो भाई Wild King से अगर तुम इस game की दास्तान सुनोगे तो वो he will probably have a bottle of water in his hand as he talks about his sadness and his trauma in life. क्यों राकेश भाई?
Yeah, sure. Water, yeah. Right. So knight c4 played. By the way, 25 के आसपास ही लोगों के guesses थे for the game ending move. So I feel now just queen b5, queen c5. I like everything actually.
भाई I like everything. ये आप chess game में कब बोल पाते हो ना केश भाई? I like everything. कुछ भी खेल दो.
Only Arjun के games में possible. अपन खेलते तभी तो I hate everything हो जाता.
See, I would prefer queen g2 purely because it just kind of completely destroys your king side. But of course, there's this counterplay, which you have to be a bit careful about. The best move apparently is queen h5 check. With the idea कि f3 खेलोगे तो queen c5. Hi.
Aha, okay. It's like, softening up the protection of the e3 bishop. तो F pawn अगर आगे आ गया अभी
Softening of
E3 के
what?
बिशप को, the E3 बिशप का
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, ओके ओके, हाँ, गॉट इट, कुछ और सुन लिया था मैंने. हाँ, सो दैट इज डेफिनेटली पॉसिबल. आई थिंक क्वीन G2 पॉसिबल है, क्वीन B5 पॉसिबल है, क्वीन H5 पॉसिबल है. आई एम जस्ट रैंडम एक्सपेरिमेंट राकेश भाई. ओके, दिस इज अ ड्रॉ. मैंने देखा तो सब कुछ भी नहीं है.
भाई
एक
टिकू
चाल है.
तू मत खेल यार प्लीज,
एक चाल है
तू
भाई.
मत खेल.
एक चाल है भाई, जिससे जिससे विन जा रही है. एटलीस्ट
अर्जुन
एक चाल
अर्जुन
तो है.
अबाउट टू प्ले, लेट्स स्टिक टू द लाइव एक्शन, फिर आप बताना आपका एक्सपर्ट एनालिसिस.
Oh,
Queen
queen well played.
B5. This is
That's
disappointing, Arjun. मतलब playing the engine second move. Come on, Arjun, यार.
देखो राकेश, क्वीन H5 was +5.8 and this is +5.3. तो 0.5 चला गया राकेश भाई. आई थिंक मे बी ही विल हैव टू एनालाइज हिज पोजीशन व्हेन ही गोस होम एंड सीज कि कहां गलती कर दी.
I'm going to cut half mark for this step. But yeah, completely winning, Arjun, on a serious note. Fabulous display. एक क्वेश्चन है टिकू, अगर what if I capture the pawn, rook C7,
हाँ
protecting the knight, getting a pawn,
हाँ.
क्या खेलोगे उसके बाद?
You know, my first thought was, why can't I play rook e4 and attack this? But that's a blunder. King to d3 and the game is equal. Can you imagine that?
Wow. And it's like a game ending blunder, ना मतलब almost draw
हाँ
हो गया आपका winning game.
हाँ. And now, if you go back with the rook, for example, king c3 and white is winning. So you have to
Oh my
sacrifice, and now you have to kind of say that this is equal. So there is a chance of going wrong. No rook e4. You have to play bishop to a5 instead, and kind of forcing the rook away. And once it moves, you basically pick up the knight, and it's game over. So it is about to be over, basically.
Oh, yeah, and it's not. I can't play rook c5 क्योंकि queen से मार दोगे आप.
Yeah, yeah. This
So
is
I
pinned.
have to play something like what? Rook c6.
But
No,
rook
that's just
c6, I
lost,
pick it
right?
up, no?
And knight a5, you have queen a6 check, and oh, this is over. Chat,
This is
the
over.
game is ending in two moves.
Yeah. In fact, the only move here is rook b1. And now you take the rook, you take on a5, but I can't imagine, yeah. I mean, you can't be. What a move, queen b6, by the way. Walking straight into the bishop's path, but it's completely winning. You can't save both. It's over.
Yeah, 8 minutes for Nodirbek, 29 minutes for Mr. Arjun Erigaisi, who's about to win a game with flawless ease.
Come on, come on. And chat, by the way, जो भी मान लो पहले 1000 लाइक होंगे, जैसे ही 1000 लाइक होंगे आज की स्ट्रीम में, कब करें राकेश भाई? बिकॉज 1000 लाइक हो गए तो अगर अगर गेम पहले खत्म हो गई तो देन वी डू अ डिफरेंट चैलेंज ऑन 1000 लाइक्स. वी डोंट डू दिस
Yeah,
चैलेंज.
yeah, correct. So that is why I'm telling chat ना कि फटाफट करो क्योंकि 1400 लोग हो
हाँ
गए अभी. पहले
हाँ,
तो
तो अभी करोगे तो यू कैन
1100
गेट
थे.
बेस्ड. हाँ, गेट इट बेस्ड ऑन दैट क्वेश्चन. अदरवाइज 1000 लाइक का वेट करना पड़ेगा तो क्वेश्चन डिफरेंट होगा. By the way, 7 minutes for white now. It's completely lost. King d3 played. That's another mistake. But of course, at this point, क्या ही खेलोगे? Just move the bishop back and it's completely lost.
Yeah.
पर अगर अर्जुन quickly खेला ना, I'll be shocked because you don't consider king d3.
I think I also like queen b3 for black Tiku.
Oh, that's nice. Rook c7, simply bishop e5 and you resign, yeah?
This could answer check.
Mithun Chakravarti laughing somewhere. So king d3 फिलहाल के लिए. Let's see what happens. Chat, I think the game is about to be over soon.
Well, and yeah, I think as soon as he finishes, it should be Arjun OP. Chat, देख रहा हम नेपो का ब्लंडर भी दिख रहा हमको. We will go there after this game is over.
नहीं है ब्लंडर नेपो में, इक्वल है पोजीशन भाई.
नहीं नहीं, वो तो ब्लैक ने भी ब्लंडर कर दिया ना.
अच्छा कर दिया ना. हाँ, तो ब्लैक ने भी कर दिया ना. वही वही.
तो या बट वी विल चेक दैट आउट. बट विनिंग मोमेंट तो नहीं मिस करेंगे. एंड इज इट और नो नो क्वीन b3 प्लेड.
26 moves chat. If जल्दी लाइक
He's
करो भाई,
about
1000
to
लाइक
resign.
करो.
1000 like जल्दी. He's about to resign, chat. He is about to resign.
Oh, I think he'll resign now. I think he's about to resign because king e2 you lose the knight. Otherwise
अरे
कोई
अर्जुन
ना कोई
कैमरा को देख के
discover
हाई
check आ
कर रहा
रही
था.
है. Yeah.
अर्जुन looked at the camera कि saying अरे भाई ये कितना देर खेलेगा और मतलब.
वो अर्जुन
This is
चैट को
over.
देखा था भाई, लाइक कर लो वरना गया फिर चैलेंज. अगला जीतोगे नहीं तो पता नहीं है.
And you see him signing the board, signing the score
There
sheet.
it
I
is.
mean,
Yeah, there it is. He presses the clock. Erigaisi Arjun defeats his first round opponent in a crushing manner, Yakubov Nodirbek, and with an accuracy of almost 98%. What a flawless game. 26 game khatam hui. 27 वालों तुम गलत हो. So what a game, and this pushes Arjun to 2782 or 2783. So he's slowly crawling towards Hikaru's candidate spot. Last, पिछले कैंडिडेट्स में गुकेश ने लास्ट मोमेंट अनीश का स्पॉट लिया था राकेश रिमेंबर एब्सोल्यूट लास्ट मोमेंट ही टुक अवे अनीश स्पॉट एंड ही बिकेम द वर्ल्ड चैंपियन will it be repeat in history and Arjun might steal Hikaru's spot this time.
True, and by 26 मैंने guys we needed 1,000 likes for the challenge membership question to start, but कोई नहीं, if you still get 1,000 likes we will ask the question again,
so that's the first riddle for today. Arjun wins, and let's jump to the Arvind against Pragg game chat because the Indian battles are not yet over. So bishop d4 हमने यहाँ देखा था where Arvind, apparently the best move Rakesh was rook to d3, unpinning this and then again kind of preparing e5 with rook d1 or queen d1. But he goes b6 directly, also very logical, right? You want to break on d6, and Pragg finds rook to e6, defending d6. Now rook to e3, unpinning this, and now knight to e8. And he's kind of stabilized a little bit here, Pragg. But time देखो अरविंद के 11 मिनट है राकेश भाई, 16 मूव चलने हैं.
Yeah, it just feels like Pragg is blitzing in the last 2-3 moves, and Arvind, जिसके पास 45 minutes थे at some point, he has gone down to just 11, half the time of Pragg now. And I think is that Pragg जो चल रहा है background में, I think that is him. And he's left Arjun to calculate on his own.
Chat question for you. Final prediction for this game, unless they make it time control. Who wins? Arvind, Pragg, or a draw? Let's go, bhai. Jaldi batao.
Oh, it's a tough question actually. And now position is also like completely equal, Tiku. Pehle to I feel he had a big chance. Arvind still thinking, he's closing in the 10-minute mark and a lot of moves to make, sadly. Or Arvind, about 16 more moves to play in under 10 minutes. Go.
Rakesh bhai, 6 months back, if we ask this question, 100% will say Pragg. Now, when I asked this question at the start of the round, right, when community started kari, it was Arvind, Pragg, draw, Arvind, Pragg, draw. Right now, even though Pragg is a slight favorite, the fact that Pragg is not dominating tells you how fast and how amazing Arvind's growth has been. And he takes on c7. And if anybody later is still white. So I think बहुत interesting है. The situation is the clock. I think the clock makes it worse for Arvind. And it really depends on how good his time pressure skills are. So chat is a slight favorite to Pragg. Rakesh bhai, do you know something about how well Arvind plays under time pressure?
Yeah, he plays really well. And, I'm seeing a lot of messages. So I think when I poll डाल दिया just to see the exact numbers for this. So chat, poll is live. Do let us know on the poll. And Tiku bhai, coming back to your question, Arvind is a very, very strong player under time pressure. And he's extremely good in faster time controls. And I think bc7, queen g7, rook d3 khela, doubling the rook, putting pressure on the d6 pawn, Tiku. I feel Pragg is not yet out of the woods.
I agree. It's I think यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा critical moment भी है, because the thing is d6 pawn is weak, but so is c2, and even b7 can be weak. And also, just to look at the king side, I have a bishop and queen lined up, and in some cases I could switch rooks. So if the knight moves around, maybe there could be some sort of attack as well. So black also has his rook. So this play on the queen side, this play, in the center, this play on the king side. So even though it looks simplified, anybody could go wrong here.
Yeah, and that's why all three results possible. I'm having a first look at the poll, and 48%, 49% saying draw hoga, Tiku. And Pragg still has more fans, 38% for Pragg, 15% for Arvind. But I fully agree. If he had asked this question 6 months or a year back, it would have been like more percentage for Pragg than 40.
तभी अरुण कह रहा क्यों मजा आया ना कि भाई कैसा लगा मेरा जलवा भाई
Oh, Sehaj bhai in the chat saying Arjun जीत
ओह
भी गया. How?
भाई यू
Sehaj
हैव नो
bhai.
क्लू लुक एट दैट गेम भाई इट वाज फ्रीकी बाद सहज भाई को हमने बताया ना कि भाई हमने कमेंट्री क्यों करी इसको इस इवेंट की उनको लग रहा है भाई इवेंट कहाँ से आया भाई हमें आज सुबह कंफर्म नहीं था कि वी स्ट्रीम दिस इवेंट एक्चुअली वी आर लिटरली होपिंग कि
Yeah,
होगा
yeah.
नहीं होगा
Even that's why cameras also we got last minute. And plus, I think Sehaj bhai is going to a tournament
हाँ
in Turkey. And Tiko
या
bhai, you have very pleasant memories of that tournament because वही tournament में बेचारे सहज भाई 2500 के नीचे आए थे. So Sehaj bhai was like wants to make that right. So
बट यू नो
feel free to join Sehaj bhai and good luck for your Turkey event.
सहज नहीं है बट अब्बास जरूर है भाई इस टूर्नामेंट में पता है अब्बास इज प्लेइंग
Oh,
I mean, that's why
let's see.
Sahaj is busy. वो टर्की तो सिर्फ बहाना है एक्चुअल
Pretending.
में तो By the way, chat 19 minutes for Pragg, 10 minutes for Arvind, still 15 more moves. Pragg has to play in 19 minutes and Arvind has to play 14 in 10. So they do have increment, but he has to, both of them have to be really quick. D6 pawn is, under huge pressure. The queen can join in to put more pressure in some cases, but black's pieces also could create some counterplay here. Knight pressure mein knight hilega to C2 pawn mar raha hai. And it's anybody's game right now. Rakesh bhai, chat ने तो I think draw predict किया. I think 47%, 36% in Pragg wins. What's your prediction for the result?
I also think I'm with chat in this one. I feel black just has enough counterplay draw करने के लिए. It won't be like a quick and easy. मतलब अगले 5-10 मूव में नहीं खत्म होने वाला है. It could take like about hour or so at least. So predicting that, I'm also predicting a draw along with chat. And I feel, this game is like you were saying कि क्यों इतना important game है. Do not forget, just last week, these players tied for first in the Armenia tournament. जहाँ पे Pragg, बचपन से लीड में था वो टूर्नामेंट के, but end में Arjun did a great run in the end, and he
Arvind,
won the tournament.
Yeah.
Sorry, Arvind, and won the tournament on tie breaks. So, and these two kids have been practicing, studying with RB Ramesh for the last 15 years or so now. So
मेरा सवाल ये है राकेश भाई, who's रमेश सर supporting?
नहीं रमेश सर के लिए तो बहुत ही टफ होगा. He won't be. He will be rooting for a draw, maybe.
अच्छा.
That's it.
Got
But it also shows, Arvind का growth जो है in the last 6 months or so. Plus, if he wins this, he might reach his career peak rating because he's defeating a 2-7-6-7 as well.
Yep. By the way, Arjun is world number 4 as he was earlier, but he's now 1 win away from Caruana's rating. So if he wins tomorrow, he will become 2786 or 2785 tomorrow, and he will cross Caruana and become the world number 3. So this tournament could be a dream come true for Arjun if he manages to reach a 250. But फिलहाल के लिए Queen C5, best move played by Pragg, as he has his finishing move of drinking water, and Arvind has to play this quickly and effectively. Rakesh, what moves are you considering here? Because clearly कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है मुझे. What should white play?
Yeah, it is tough. Maybe, I can try something like Rook D5, Queen B4, Rook D4 back, just to gain some time, and I'm itching closer to that 40 move mark if I'm Arvind. Or else something, I don't know, Queen G3 करके अगर कुछ और एक अटैक बढ़ा सकता हूँ मैं D6 के पॉन पे शायद. अरे नहीं, वो तो ब्लंडर है एक्चुअली.
हाँ वही.
Pragg's threat is Rook C3.
Yeah.
Queen G3 नहीं, Queen E3 से करना पड़ेगा मुझे.
So let's say King H7 खेल. Let's say white plays King H2, then he plays Rook C3, and Queen D4, and he wins the game.
Yeah.
So Rook C3 is a big threat right now. So you have to do something about it.
But I still feel just Rook D5, Queen B4, B4 back, gain some time. अरे भाई ये नहीं.
ये मैं था. The thing is, Jack, Rook D5, Queen B4, Rook D4, Arvind rejected a draw for earlier in the game. So to play this would be kind of difficult psychologically, especially when Pragg can play on. So I don't know if he'll go for this. It's going to be a difficult decision. Although 8 minutes now, this is getting very tough.
Yeah, and Arvind had a brief glance at the clock. उसको भी पता है time बहुत ही कम.
कुछ
And I
भी
like
बोल
this,
दो
मतलब
chat.
Pragg.
कोई
Pragg is also roaming a lot today. No?
हाँ, आई थिंक कोई भी प्लेयर हो, चाहे मैग्नस ही हो, कोई भी हो यार, वंस यू आर अंडर
Hmm.
टाइम प्रेशर ना, strange things start to have begin happening, Rakesh bhai. Like it feels like you suddenly lose your skill, you are open to blunders, one move mein game khatam ho jati hai. We have seen like top players of the world at Norway chess, like जैसे टाइम खत्म हुआ, like blundering queens, blundering rooks, blundering pieces, pawns, क्या क्या नहीं देखा. So I think as Arvind's clock goes down now, below 8 minutes, by the way, less than half the time that Pragg has, I am starting to favor Pragg more and more in this game. And Pragg will not take the repetition, Rakesh, if Arvind offers it.
Like that is very likely, Tico. And Sahaj by also roasting and replying to almost everyone in chat. So, chat, let us wish all the best to Sahaj by in the chat as well, because he's going for his tournament in a couple of days. And bhai, you said chess cup kahan pe ho raha hai? Of course, it's happening in Uzbekistan, Tashkent, I think. And that is why you see a lot of players from Uzbekistan alongside the world stars, which is a very similar event, Tiku, that we have in Chennai Grandmasters in India.
Yeah, Chennai GM will be crazy, and we'll have some of those. I don't know kitne same players हैं, but Chennai GM will be very, very interesting as well. Similar field, similar strength. वो अगस्त में होगा, of course, and we'll have Anish and Vidit का, बिरादरी वहां पे to watch as well. So that will be fun, and of course,
Yeah.
that's going to be fun. But that's a couple of months away as of now. उससे पहले we're going to have this event, the Uzbekistan Chess Cup Masters, which is very important for the Indians, three of four Indians in the world. Then we will have the Bullet Chess Championship, jahan pe we'll have some strong Indian players battle it out. I think, I don't know, Arjun is still playing that one also, Rakesh, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's also there. Or no?
Which one?
PCC.
Yeah, Bullet Chess he's playing. Arjun is playing, confirmed.
So बढ़िया, so he will be playing here and then he'll be playing the BCC event. या तो कितना crazy रहेगा, उसका भी अपने इतना ही comment, अपना comment जितना उसका खेलना उतना. He's like,
Bilkul. And
है ना?
Arjun is then playing Esports World Cup also. So
बाप रे. And of course, then this is Zagreb event we have. I do not forget that, where we will see Magnus and Gukesh battle each other in Rapid and Blitz as well. So that's gonna be fantastic, and that's in the first week of July. So बहुत सारे events आते हैं, and about to play Arjun and Rook D5 लग रहा है राकेश भाई.
yeah, Rook D5 is under 6 minutes. He has to get going. Arvind, chalo khelo. Rook D5 and you will see Pragg coming back. There we go.
I expect Queen B4 to be played in literally 30 seconds or less than a minute for sure.
Same.
Because Pragg, as of now, of course, he must have seen what happens on Rook D5 because that's the most obvious move for white. So he will play Queen B4. And do you think he repeats once or do you think he will just go Queen B2, Rakesh?
No, I think repeat once. Both players should be happy with the draw, I feel.
I think he'll play on Rakesh. I think Pragg will think कि भाई time कम है. I can utilize this to put pressure unless he feels he's like maybe slightly worse. Do you think Pragg is slightly worse? Like in that case, he might take the draw, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, black is slightly worse, and it's basically white can either win or white will draw. So in such positions, I don't think Pragg will be very ambitious. We will wait and see. He's not played Queen before yet in 30 seconds. So let's see what he does.
Chat, this is 6 minutes to play for 13 moves for Arvind. So,
Oh yeah, and by the
Arvind
way, Jinal bhai, sorry, continue.
Hey, Arvind पूरा स्टार लग रहे हैं भाई, मूवी के स्टार लग रहे हैं टिपिकल ऐसे. Anyways, हाँ राकेश भाई.
True. Bilkul. Like, yeah, movie star and Jinal by pointing out a great thing that Arjun is also, ये सब भी बीच में, he's also playing Las Vegas का freestyle event.
That's crazy. By that freestyle US में है, Las Vegas में. So that उसके timing events के are 11:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Arvind की आंखें खुल गई भाई वो सुन के. So we might not be streaming that one because it's just too much.
But yeah, it's like अपने night shift को छोड़ के कौन ही लोग आएंगे ना chat में. But will you be interested for
let us know.
freestyle?
But I think in general अभी बहुत events हैं, so we're gonna have this, we're gonna have BCC, we're gonna have Zagreb, we're gonna have esports World Cup, we're gonna have Chennai GM, so बहुत सारे events lined up है, and this is apart from the Grand Swiss and the World Cup, Rakesh bhai, which is insane.
Oh, that's crazy. And yeah, Grand Swiss, I think Uzbekistan again, Tiku. And
Yeah.
World Cup apparently is going to be held in India. I'm very excited for the World Cup, Tiku.
Equally excited. Let's like the stream chat. Let's get to 1K likes. As of now, Pragg, you can see he's sitting up in his chair. I think he's making that final decision. Do I want to repeat? Do I have a chance to push? Because he's a very practical player. Yeah, he will not go outlandish. Like Arjun will play the third best move just to kind of create complications. Pragg is a more solid player, I would say. So if he thinks ki, he's slightly worse, he's getting a draw, he might just take it regardless of the time situation. So Queen b4, Rook d4 could be a repetition. He could go back also somewhere. I don't know where would you go, like Queen. Can you go back, by the way? You can, but maybe then why did you come to like c5? It doesn't make sense, yeah? Because now Rook c3 is no longer a threat because the Rook is joined by the pawn. So if you did play Queen c5, you are going to go to b4, I think.
For sure, for sure. I think he's already calculating Queen b4, Rook comes back to d4. Then, am I pushing for a win or I'm going for the draw? I think Pragg is already calculating that.
Yeah, and he will play those moves very quickly. That's why he's calculating, taking time right now. Will you stream Women's World Cup? You would love to, Sneha, but we don't have the cams for that one. So, and I did ask, but we don't have the cams. So, we'll stick to the other events. But of course, I think Indian players बहुत strong hai. We have, I think, Harika, Hampi, Divya, Nandita, I think Marianne Gomes, I think lots of Priyanka, like lots of players playing. So, let's hope so. We get a couple of candidate spot, at least one from there. And meanwhile, Pragg grabs a piece, but still no moves, Rakesh. 13 minutes now. So Pragg also reaching the under a minute mark.
Yeah, it's going down to the wire. And yeah, and also along with candidate for, I also hope we get the camera somehow to go for Women's World Cup because that would be a fun event. And Sahaj bhai बोल रहे location reveal कर दो भाई. Yeah, it's I think about 90% going to happen in Goa, the Open FIDE World Cup. So let's see. It's not yet finalized yet. But Tiku, you are happy that it's not happening in Delhi, right?
Bhai, very happy, yaar. I'm not kidding. Like literally, Delhi mein November is like a 1000 AQI tha, bhai. You know, if foreign players coming from an AQI of 5, just listen to the number 1000, they will probably just leave, half of them. So I think they will say, अगले साल भी होगा World Cup 2 साल बाद, तब देख लेंगे. So I think it's great कि दिल्ली में नहीं है. I think it's just not like, yeah, it's not good for their health. It's not good for our health, for that matter.
Yeah, true. Gukesh's next tournament is going to be GCT Croatia,
Zagreb,
where he'll play Carlsen as well. So Bilal bhai, wo event hoga stream. Sahaj bhai will also be back from Turkey with some rating points hopefully, and of course Tiku bhai will be hosting the show.
Sahaj bhai will be back with some rating points for his opponents. Sahaj bhai बहुत ध्यानी है भाई. Love Sahaj bhai.
मेरे को लगा ही था तो कुछ बोलेगा पता.
भाई देखो, मोदी जी भी जागरेब गए हैं, तो तब ऑफ कोर्स आजकल में गए थे, तो भाई तो इंडियन प्लेयर्स भी जाएंगे बहुत जल्दी भाई. सो दैट इज अमेजिंग. शुभ जगह पे फिलहाल के लिए Pragg still not playing, Rakesh. He's been thinking for 5.5 minutes already.
एंड भाई ये क्या सवाल है कि पीछे वाले ग्रैंड मास्टर रेड शर्ट में उसके 6 पैक ऐप है या नहीं, मतलब हाउ इन द वर्ल्ड वुड वी नो, मतलब
स्माइली भाई यार, ये ज्यादा ही stats, Rakesh bhai also works on stats, but I don't think this is part of the stats pack, Rakesh bhai.
6 pack stats pack में I mean, some connection तो है, but no answer there.
From next event,
rapid event. Yeah, I think Rengoku-ji, GCT Zagreb is a rapid and blitz event. So, मजा आएगा उसमें बहुत.
Oh, Queen C4. No Queen B4 actually. But I don't think it makes a difference. Or it does make a difference because if I repeat moves, I think you have to go to C5. So maybe he is okay with a draw, Rakesh. Because Queen B4 say you had
there
Queen
you
B2.
go, Rook coming back. Tiku, Arvind plays instantly.
Oh wow, repeating chat question. Will they repeat or not? Chat question for you. Yes or no? Spam kar do. Will we see a draw? Yes or no? Rakesh bhai, what's your prediction?
Yes, yes, yes. Played. Draw incoming. Chat, jaldi se line
Okay,
number.
okay, okay. It's this move, Rakesh. It's this move. I don't think he'll repeat. That's my guess. I
I think
don't
he
think.
will. I think Pragg is going to repeat. Chat, what do you think? What is chat saying? Repeat करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे?
Oh, this is the move, chat. Queen c4, rook d4. Queen c4 is a draw. It's over. They go home, they shake hands. Queen b4 is saying, hello, sir. Abhi time thoda kam hai, sir. Khelte hai. So that's the important thing. 900% repeat. Abhishek bhai, thoda math statistics, thoda. Oh, it is going to be a draw. Pragg is okay. He's okay, comfortable with the draw. And now Arvind, of course, will think for a minute, but I expect him to play rook d4 pretty soon, Rakesh. I don't see a way where he can push.
Yeah, Arvind won the last chance qualifier. He doesn't give a last chance for Pragg because now Queen C5. If Pragg plays it, it's a draw.
And I think smart decision. Yeah? The last thing you want to do is think for 3 minutes and then you give Pragg incentive to not repeat. Yeah. Because
Oh yeah.
right now, I'm pretty sure Pragg is barely convincing himself that by clock time come hai uske paas, but it's enough. But if you think for 3 minutes, you have 3 minutes and Pragg might just play on. So Rook D4 played instantly, a good practical decision from Arvind, and Queen C5 is an instant draw by Pragg.
Yeah, and game ending, Pragg looks at the score sheet, having a last minute thing. He's not happy with the draw, but I think both of them will take it. Good friends, studied together, grew up together. I think that's of course apart from that. And Queen C5 played. None
Yeah.
of them are offering a draw yet.
Yeah, there
And
it
there you
is.
go.
Handshakes. There is a draw. And we have an amazing day one for Indian players at the Uzbekistan Chess Cup Masters. First of all, Erigaisi Arjun getting a crushing victory there with the black pieces. And now Arvind and Pragg having a very, very exciting draw. And I would say, a good result because all Indians maintain their chances of winning the event and also
Yeah.
qualifying for the candidates, Rakesh bhai.
And arbiter check करा अरे 3 बार repeat हुआ नहीं. Meanwhile, Pragg and Arvind not really caring about that. They are just discussing and analyzing the game, and this just shows their passion. Look at the smile. Good friends
Uh-huh.
analyzing it together till the end, and look at Arvind also there.
Yeah.
Genuine reactions are chat here.
Yeah. And chat, these are friends, these are competitors. मैंने कहा जैसे गेम खत्म होगी, they will turn into friends, but while the pieces are moving, the clock is ticking, they are hardcore competitors. And of course, I think a fair draw. I think Arvind had a moment there when he could have gained the edge. He missed it, but I think not enough to really claim that he was significantly better. So a fair result, a draw. And so far, chat, Arjun defeats Nodirbek Yakubov. He wins. Arvind and Pragg draw. Maksudlu and Rapport have also drawn. And Abdu Satarov Nodirbek has defeated Samshidin Yokidov. So only one game going on. We'll have a brief look at it. And then we'll end the stream. But I think two players. I think a post game analysis बहुत अच्छा लगता है देखने में राकेश भाई. People keep learning from this regardless of the result.
Yeah, I think I would, before we jump, I'd like to keep this on, कुछ ना कुछ short word बन सकता है इसमें. If we have a funny reaction or something. So
True. Rakesh
always,
bhai
by the
thinking.
way, I want to ask Tiku, were you used to did you used to analyze with your opponent after the game?
I mean, sure, a little bit sometimes, but usually, मतलब इतना कुछ चैलेंज करने का होता नहीं है अपन के पास कि let's say 100 मिस्टेक अलग है, 4 ब्लंडर तो हमने मिस ही करे होते हैं, तो इनका क्या होता है परफेक्ट चेस तो दे कैन एक्चुअली एनालाइज. अपने में
True
तो यार
that.
थोड़ा 4 ब्लंडर रुक ब्लंडर कर रहे हैं भाई, क्या मतलब एनालाइज करने का भाई उसमें. And there it is, the kings in the center. So let's do one thing. Let's have a brief look at the Nepo Sindarov game and then we end the stream, Rakesh bhai, because I think अपना goal है Indian players की game analyze करना. So chat,
Sure.
one last minute. This is the position. Nepo had sacrificed a rook here with a brilliancy rook to e4. It was like a crazy move, but somehow as we went along, I think he kind of weakened up his king for no reason. And of course, black also missed a couple of chances, but now look at this knight c3 brilliancy, and somehow black has kind of come back in the game, and it seems like Nepo is going down. So prediction for this game, chat. What do you think happens? Nepo wins, Sindaro wins, or a draw? Rakesh bhai, what's your prediction?
I think Sindarov's going to convert this. This is a big enough advantage at their level. And both players about 2,700. And with that, Nodirbek, Abdusataro won, Arjun won. We might have three winners, and two of them with the black pieces.
Wow. Wow. So it's going to be exciting. And I think इस game पे हम focus कम करेंगे just to show you the pairing for tomorrow chat. It's going to be Pragg with white against Vokhidov Samshidin, who already lost today against Nodirbek. It's going to be Arjun against Maksudlu. Again, Arjun having the white pieces. And Arvind against Yakubov. Again with the white pieces and Yakubov lost. So all three Indians are going to have white pieces tomorrow. So do not miss day two of this event because all three of them could win. Pragg could cross like Arjun in some cases. Okay, depends on like he could cross Gukesh at least. If Pragg wins tomorrow, he crosses Gukesh. Arjun could cross Fabry and Arvind could come into world top 10. So we could have three records broken tomorrow.
Yeah, so many changes, and also don't forget the candidate spots, the ratings, and the FIDE circuit points. So that is why this is, I think, one of the most crucial classical tournaments for the next couple of months, Tiku.
Yeah, I would say most important in the year also because one of the most important, like top, I think in terms of candidates qualifications, top 5 events. Top 2 में तो World Cup और Grand Swiss हो गए. I think one was Norway. इसके अलावा I think top 5 में definitely आता है because of the stakes, because of the candidate spots and because of how many Indian players are playing. Nodirbek playing, by the way. He's also fighting for a candidate spot. Yes, don't forget, Nodirbek is also fighting for a candidate spot. So a lot at stake. And we'll, of course, be back tomorrow. So, Nira, can we have the cameras of the commentators for a second? Chat, thank you for joining. I know a game remaining here, but this is not as important for us. So, I'm Indian players focus karenge. And congrats to Arjun for winning today and a hard-fought draw between Pragg and Arvind, and both should be happy with it.
Yeah. And great day one, I would say. कोई भी Indian हारा नहीं, एक Indian जीता. I would say dream start for Team India here. I mean, I know individual tournament, but we always like to back all our boys. And on that note, day 2, I think चलोगा same time, 3:30 p.m. IST.
Same time होगा chat. We'll be back tomorrow. It's gonna be exciting. And Rakesh bhai, just one prediction. Do you think one of the Indians will cross 2,800 in this event? Yes or no?
Looking at the start, I think Arjun definitely has a chance. But 20 points in 8 games, thoda tough hai.
I think it's now 18 points in 8 games, yeah? It's 18.
Yeah, 18 points in 8 games. No. हो सकता है definitely. It would be a great time to predict this, मतलब तीन round के बाद. So we'll know how Arjun has started.
By the way, Abhishek, with a great point, sole winner gets 26.6 points in the FIDE circuit. By that will literally seal Pragg's candidate spot. So super high stakes event chat, and we'll be back tomorrow. Can we show our camera for a second कि chat को ध्यान भी रहे कि हम commentary कर रहे थे भाई. भाई एक बार camera दिखा दो भाई हमारा please. Nini भाई, and then we can end the stream. And नेपो भाई हार रहे हैं, मैं कुर्सी पे नहीं है.
Yeah, and a lot of Sindaro fans or maybe Nepo को इतना नहीं पसंद करते, but people voting for that. And कोई भाई बोल रहे थे, चाय भी बोल रहे थे, keep the stream on for 5 minutes. भाई हो गया 10 मिनट हो गया I think Pragg के गेम को. But Sindaro, as we see, plays a strong move and looks like I think Tico we should expect a win. 3 people will go home with a win today. So Tico, 26.65, I think great point by Abhishek. It just made this tournament even more prestigious in a way.
Absolutely, and I think average rating बहुत high है इस tournament की. 2700 के सारे ही top players हैं. I mean 3 तो 2700, तीन Indians ही हैं भाई 2750 से ऊपर. That tells you everything. So it's a super exciting event. And of course, chat, we'll be back tomorrow. I think Divai, are you there? Let us know. ऐसा ना हो कि हम चले जाएं और कैमरा चलता जा रहा है भाई. Let us know if you're there, Niri bhai.
Yeah, I think Niri bhai is on a quick break. Let's wait. Queen G4. But only 2 minutes for Sindar. अभी है ही तो maybe.
हाँ देख ही लेते हैं भाई 2 ही मिनट actually. हाँ that's true.
क्या पता कुछ और एक table banking moment मिल जाए.
नेपो ने हेडशेक कर दिया भाई. No table banging in front of my presence, please.
मतलब उसके बाद में अब ये हेड शेक या हैंडशेक रिफ्यूज करना क्या ही है मतलब. कार्लसन ने टेबल बैंग कर दिया मतलब. उसके बाद क्या ही वायरल मोमेंट बनाओगे इससे बड़ा?
पीछे अबासोव का गेम खत्म हो गया है, so now you will not see Sahaj in the chat.
हाँ हाँ,
Now
सहज
he
तक गायब हो गए हैं।
गायब हो गया अबासोव गेम खत्म होते ही.
Yeah, physics in physics by, yeah, Arjun has one. And maybe not many of you knew about this event, but a very, very important event for the FIDE circuit points. Arjun already has one. Pragg and Arvind have drawn each other in round one. So
Yeah.
good start for Indians overall.
Yeah, good start. And chat, we are going to be back tomorrow. Ye game, I think, of course, we can. इतना relevant नहीं है Indian players के perspective से, so we'll focus on the Indian players, and we're going to be back tomorrow at 3:40 p.m. with three Indian players, all white pieces, and it's going to be extremely exciting. You can see the standings. Of course, अभी दो players के वहाँ पे result add नहीं हुए, but Erigaisi Arjun topping the table, and all is at stake. The candidate spots are at stake, and it's going to be exciting. I know we have round two pairings, Niribai, but regardless, tomorrow is going to be a bloodbath with three Indians having white pieces.
True. And yeah, Chad, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you again tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. IST. Three Indians with the white pieces. Will they make a big stride towards the candidate spot? Tiku, take it away.
Yeah, I think if they are going to, we might see 3 wins tomorrow and 3 records broken. You might see Pragg, cross Gukesh. You might see Arjun cross Fabi and reach closer to Hikaru. You might see Arvind reach the world top 10. It's going to be fantastic. And we're going to see you chat tomorrow. Of course, Nepo fighting and Nepo losing is actually good for Indian players in terms of the final standings, because Nepo is a strong contender to win this event. So we'll see you tomorrow, chat. Thank you, Rakesh Bhai. Thank you, Nidhi Bhai. And tomorrow is going to be exciting. Do not miss it. Three Indians in the battle. Bye bye. Take care and good night.
Thank you.